Welcome to Liberal 12th Man Show. I'm the Liberal 12th Man, and I am also joined by the Irishman today. We're going to be doing reviews and ratings, bringing you guys some news as well as, I know that there's some hot news out there that's kind of like got people probably wondering what's going on. Trust, I've already looked at the 17 different articles that were related to some of the topics. So, we're going to break it off by introducing the Irishman to you guys. How are you doing, Irishman?
Yeah, very well. Very well. Good to see everyone in the chat already.
Yes, definitely. Always good to see Bernie, one of our red jewels. Definitely a diamond in the rough for sure. We also wanted to talk about today, before we get into the ratings and the talk about the game, because I know that that's what we're primarily here to do, which is, obviously give our evaluations and our thoughts on the game, and obviously give our thoughts on the players' performances. But there is some talk out there in the news right now. I know I've seen it on a couple of other content creators' pages. I saw, I think it was Redman or something like that, do like an interview with a journalist, excuse me, about one possible transfer that we might go into. We might actually go into the January window looking to possibly solidify, if not present a runway, into getting that deal done for the summer. Big up MK Toe, big up John Conway, big up. And we also wanted to do some stuff about, we also wanted to talk about some stuff about in-house contracts and the likes. So it's just a matter of what you guys want to talk about first, I guess you could say. You want to talk about the incomings or the outgoings? I guess we could talk about the outgoings first, since that's the fun part about it. And that's, or the big news, and that's the news that has everyone wondering what's going on. Big up Delonte, by the way, one of our generals out there. Big up. Talk about Trent. Trent is in the news again. Trent is in the news. A lot of different publications I've seen coming out with some articles. I've seen some fellow content creators out there in our community, at least, speaking on the situation that Trent is in right now. In that, basically, he is at the point of possibly, there's been reports that he turned down a contract. I saw that as well as being what it is. I think that more so when you hear he turned down a contract, that could be a little misleading because it sounds like, oh, he's not interested in signing with us. It just more so is the number they gave him wasn't the number that he wanted. He wasn't comfortable with the number.
So turn down the offer.
Yes, turn down the offer. Yeah, big difference.
Turn down the offer, not turn down the. He didn't walk around and say, don't even bother trying to up it to 500 because I'm leaving. No, I'm sure it was just
exactly.
You can do better, lads. Come back to me with a better number and we can talk.
Exactly.
It's all standard. That's how they play the game. So,
yeah.
But isn't it going to be fun to have to watch it every single day and people losing their minds and blowing their top?
Yeah, to say the least. Yeah. Looking forward to I have some info that it was basically, I'll just do it from my head there. Basically the info was that he turned down their offer, but he's still looking to make his stay here at Liverpool. And what was most telling about it is that, a lot of especially rival content creators are going to probably spin it, try to make it sound like he's leaving and the likes. I personally don't think he will leave. I think that there'll be an offer. I think FSG will understand the fact that someone like Trent, who is a talisman for this club, someone that wants to be a future captain, connected to the city, they're going to figure out a way to keep him happy and keep him a part of the club. And what that's going to mean is he's going to probably end up being the highest paid player on this team, if not on line with our current highest player, Mo Salah. And why I'm getting at that is because there have been reports that the number that they offered him was around little shy of 300,000, basically. So I don't have his. I can look it up real quick, but let me see if I can find his actual because he's like, I think he's on 160. I want to say. I don't know if you know his exact contract situation, Brian, or not.
I would have guessed 260.
Do you think it's 260? I thought it was 160 or something like that. But let me double check because it's not 260. I'm pretty sure it's not 260 because I'm pretty sure VVD makes 220,000.
Oh, okay.
And I know that VVD is the second highest.
All right, I guess 180 then.
Okay, you're guessing. I got you. No problem. Maybe someone out there in the chat can get it before I load up this what it is actually.
Yeah, well, I suppose if you bear in mind like the fact that he has come at the end of his contract, so that means he probably signed that one quite a while ago. So yeah, he wouldn't have been on huge
180.
Like,
180.
180, yeah.
Okay.
Like, and he would have signed that when he was around 20, right? 19 or 20. So even that's a lot of money back then. So
it's a lot of money. Yeah.
It's kind of interesting because like how you play it as a player. Because like if I'm a player and I'm letting my deal run down, you know, with the idea of going, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, then when the club that I go to, I can say I want a lot of money because I'm free, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point. That's the whole reason behind the whole thing. You get to pick, you get a better choice for yourself, and you can ask for more money. But that's not really the same when you're if you let your contract run down really close and you're staying at a club.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really as much do the, oh well, I want 400 because I've only got a year left. Do you know what I'm saying? Is it you don't really?
Yes.
It's a slightly different kind of way of doing it because the club is kind of looking to go, well, yeah, you let your contract run down. You know, it's slightly. I don't think you can ask for as much commensurate to how much time you've left on your deal. You know what I'm saying? I think you can ask more from a club if you're leaving. It's a little bit less of a bargaining tool with the club that you're staying at. You can definitely ask for an increase, yeah, but you can't go and say, "Oh, well, I'm 500 grand a week because I'm on a free transfer." You know, it's you get like more, but I don't think you can kind of go because you can turn around like say to the parents, like, "Well, the only reason you're nearly on a free is because you wouldn't sign the deals we offered you," and you know, whatever. But
exactly, yeah, you just kept saying no, and I mean, like, that's the negotiation tactics you're going to use. And I mean, like, obviously, there's nothing that we can do other than, you know, either accept the price, set the number that you come up with initially, or because I mean, I'm sure his agent gave a number, and they said, or vice versa, or depending on who approached who first. But if Trent's people went to them first, you know, I'm sure they had a number, and I'm sure Liverpool looked at it, decided on what was going to be a compromise, because I'm certain that they're not going to give whatever, because as an agent, you always come in high. You always come in as a high number. You don't come in as a like, oh, let's start like in the middle and work our way from there. So yeah. But the report is that it was about, I want to say is like 280. It's like a little short of 300,000 was what the number is that they're offering. That is a substantial increase in from what he's making right now. Obviously, 180,000 to get £100,000 boost to your coffers is saying, yes, we trust in you. They also wanted to do in the deal, or what the ideal situation is that they're aiming towards doing is locking him up to 2030, by the way. So Trent is what, 25, I want to say, right? 25? Yeah, 25 or something like that. Yeah, 25. And if that would make him go all the way up to obviously 31 years old, and also that would be right around the time when you'd have to make another difficult, choice or situation somewhat similar to what we're dealing with BBD and with Trent, or excuse me, with Salah, in that, in that they're in their 30s, and now do we offer them extension? And as we all know, or as we were talking about yesterday, I believe we were talking about it yesterday, the report is that VVD wants a 3-year extension to his deal.
Mhm.
I think all of us are cool with giving him 3 years. That's including this year. I think though, I think maybe they'll come back with if I was doing the negotiations, maybe they come back with a 2-year deal with a 3rd year as an option or something like that, maybe. But let's stick with let's focus.
Well, with Trent, I wouldn't. Excuse me. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if it was high 2s, high 200s, and I'm Trent, I'm turning it down too, because I think he's going to want what Romano would call an important contract. I think he's going to want, something that says, like you said, potentially you are the highest paid player here. I think that might be what he's looking at. So, and I think it would have to start with a 3 at least for him.
Yeah, but
unfortunately,
can I tell you this real quick though, and then I want to hear the rest of your thoughts as well, obviously. But and this is something too. I've already told Hyler what the numbers that they're looking to do. 6-year deals, what they're trying to get done. But if he were to be signed as 300,000, let's say hypothetically 300,000, it will be reported that he would be the highest paid defensive player in the Premier League. That's what is basically being targeted as. And I get those things because that's the same way. Like I remember you're talking about Kepa and how you're making. I mean, I don't know if this is verified or not, but like how you're saying how it seemed like Chelsea signed Kepa just so that they could say they made the like highest price signature for a goalkeeper. Like also that kind of relates to your players as well. Like you want to be looked at as being the highest paid player in like the league or highest defensive player in the league. Those things do matter to players, to say the least.
Yeah, I think he'll want. I think he'll want more money. I think especially to sign for a 6-year deal, it just seems like he's locking himself into a smaller deal. I'm really not sure. I don't know, but I would have thought we were being a bit ambitious trying to get him to sign at that money. Especially these days, what players can earn.
Yeah.
For a once in a lifetime kind of player, I don't.
I get what you're saying. Completely understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
but
I think they'll offer 3. Like if you could get him for 320, I'd be happy enough with that.
Okay.
Because it needs to be kind of big money for him to go. Yeah, that's gonna. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a complicated one because you've got all the facts. All the bonuses, the fact that he's a Scouser, the fact that you've got a new manager, the fact that all these different things. And I guarantee you Trent is going to be infuriatingly laid back and chilled about it in interviews.
Oh, absolutely.
Not in a way. Yeah, he'll be just like, it's cool. What are you talking about? No problem at all. And like giving a little sly wink or a nod or a smile or something, But
yeah. They okay,
sorry. Going to play it that way. No, he's going to play it that way,
Oh, absolutely. He's already done it. There was excuse me. There was let me do this real quick too. Okay. There was a situation where like I think one of the journalists approached him for an interview or tried to get an interview out of him about, and obviously they're going to ask him about the contract situation. And I think it was after not this past game or even the game before this, maybe might have been the West Ham game, I think, or something. But when he got approached to ask to interview, he was like, "Oh yeah. Hit me up next week, and we could talk about it then." I just want to get in the locker room and like and get kind of settled. It's kind of like what you're doing.
Yeah.
I also big up JK is joining us. 2 people. Big up to JK. How you doing,
JK? Easy, bless, bro. How you cool?
Definitely bless up. And big up to everyone in the chat, by the way.
Yeah. Jimmy.
Good showing today, by the way. Appreciate that, man. I really do. So it's very humbling to see when people show love like that by tuning in and being a part of the conversation, and being a part of the community. That's really, really cool. High Lord, Red Arm Church supporter, Lee Wizkid, Bernie, obviously, I said that earlier. You know, I always got to give proper respect to our Red Jewels.
Jimmy.
Yeah, yeah.
Ariane.
You know, you gotta tell us how we pronounce that too. On how we pronounce the Red JU. And Philip, big up. Marion, always one of our Red Jewels. Precious Red Jewels. And let's see who else is in the house here. I saw some other heads. Red for Life, Jimmy, big up Jimmy. MK Toe, I think I said that, but if not, big up once again. Yeah, there's some comments in here too. I know Heiler's bringing up the FFP situation. He says something like the FFP also plays a rather big deal these days. So if a club can outsource wages to partners of the club, they will not be included in the wage bill. That may affect the FFP regulation. That's an interesting angle. That's a very interesting angle. Trying to like maybe say, hey, Nike, or he's with Adidas now, but like maybe say like Adidas, hey, now that you're a club sponsor or a club kit sponsor, and it so happens that your player happens to play for us too, maybe you can take on a little bit more of the burden, the financial burden.
It's been mooted. That's one of those things that goes around every couple of years. X, Y, and Z could pay, and they never do. That never actually
never happens.
You know,
yeah,
they can't pay him an extra $50,000 a week just from Nike. You know, that's illegal, basically. But yeah, I know what people are saying. Yeah, you can get clever. Look, I think when a lot of this FFP, PSR stuff really starts to kick in, I think hopefully wages will start to come down, because wages are unrealistic. There's no need for someone like Frankie de Jong to be on $700,000 a week. That's just not normal. There's no need for that kind of stuff.
I think that's also connected to the fact that they owed him money before, and they like had to, you know, do the whole like furlough thing and stuff with him.
Barcelona. Oh yeah, but his contract I think is something like 740. That's what they signed him up on.
Oh, okay. I thought that number was adjusted because of those reasons. I'm just speculating. I was just speculating.
Yeah, no, I just mean just in general.
But you're right about that.
You know, if player transfer fees could come down by an average of 10 or 15%, wages could come down. Everyone would still be super rich. You know, it's just players wouldn't cost as much, and you wouldn't be paying them as much, so you wouldn't need to be as rich. You know, you're still good. Everyone's still good. Most clubs lose money. You know, it's not like these people are. Yeah, I just think, you know, any player that's on like $250,000 a week, that's probably enough. You know, for most people to live on. For most people, for
sure.
Yeah, I think we could all scrape by for a while on that.
Yeah, we can get by.
You might have to cut back some of your champagne budget. I know, on 250, but yeah, the rest of us could get on. Okay.
Maybe so. Yeah, definitely. But I would tell you this much: if I was making that kind of dough, we would all have like our we would all be at the games. Trust me, we'd have our own section at the game.
Box. Yeah.
Trust me on that one. If I get it that way, all the OGs. I can't say that for everyone. Eventually, if we get to the stages and of where we would love to see the channel get to, that'd be great. But I'll tell you, the OGs, trust me, if we get to that stage, you will be with us. Let's see. Heiler's asking a question here. Let me see this one. Is Trap Joe's in the house? Big up Trap Joe. He's asking, don't you think it's special that Salah earns more off the wages per week? I think it's. I mean, I don't know if it's. I guess it's a perspective. I can understand where you're going with it. I was just going to say, I don't know if it's special considering that he is possibly one of the biggest athletic names in the Islamic, especially like, you know, in the Islamic world, or at least in the Arab world as well.
The Arab world.
What's that?
The Arab world would be the best fave.
Okay.
But, yeah, that's his.
There are people that aren't in the Arab world that follow him.
Oh no, I just think that's where when they talk about him, they say he's the biggest commercial in the Arab world, is the way they phrase it. in that kind of sphere. Yeah, I don't know if that's to do with getting paid. I mean, everybody can have their commercial deals. You know, that's up to them. I mean, how much money they're, like we're saying, like Salah is like the number one draw in that sector, so he's going to make. But that's his side gigs. You know, there's nothing to stop him doing that. But not everybody can do it. So not everybody's face is going to be on an airplane. You know.
Oh no doubt.
One off.
Bernie's saying, remember the old days? Every player was paid the same. They got bonuses for goals scored and trophies. Yeah, good old days. Hi, Laura was bringing up the point of the main thing is that each time a new contract is given, push through the ceiling of wages, every other player wants to renegotiate their contract to get more. And that's what I was going to bring up too, is that you're spot on, Hi, Laura, by saying that you have a situation where you're going to have a contract given to one of the players that's negotiating, and then other agents are going to use that as some type of leverage, a little bit of a leverage. I'm saying it's not completely like, you know, it's not completely make or break that you're going to get. Yeah, but you'll use whatever leverage you can get.
Yeah, like if you're a shite, I mean, you can't go knocking on someone's door. Like if you've been terrible for 2 years ago, hey, I see Salah just got a bump to 350. What about me? Hey, you're lucky to have a job, mate. Shut up, sit down. You know, it's not. There's a, but like say someone, you've got a Mane at your club, and you give him 350 grand a week. Then Mo Salah can sit down at his deal and go, well, you know, that's comparable. You know, that's fine. That's one thing. But not everybody, I get that, is it? But not everybody can. Players know as well, like that they're worth what they're worth. They can't all just go, oh, I want more. But you will get some people, if they think they're better than a player. Yeah, the worst thing you can have is like one of those Ibrahimovic type players at your club who cannot accept somebody who he thinks is worse than him getting paid more than him. You get those kind of guys, you know, they're just like, that will not stand. I will not come to work knowing that he's getting paid 50 grand a week more than me. You know, just those kind of problem players.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think, does Robbo, or well, not Robbo's not a great chat. Is he like, does Curtis Jones complain if Trent or go looking for a new big deal if Trent gets a big deal? I don't think so. I don't think he can point to Trent as a reason why he should get more, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. But I reckon, bro, it's like telling a landlord to lower the prices of his houses, you know, because it's not fair how much he's charging for the house. It's like same with football players. When you look at Chelsea, them players are like houses, you know, they got them on contracts for 8 years. So they're like an asset. So because of that, it's why he's out of control now, because they're looking at it. That means more money going into the club, you know, and that's why the prices won't ever change. Like Coutinho went for 140, and that was a while ago, you know. So, like, you never know what's going to be next, you know. I think if Mbappe went to Madrid and they had to pay for him, it could have been crazy. So, but I think what it is the fans end up paying for it. You know, when you look at shirt sales, how much they cost now, football tickets, even food and drink at the club, the match days, you know, it all sort of adds up for the fees and wages we pay for players. So it's the fans who end up paying in a weird sort of way. Okay, I don't mind how much wage football players get. For me, that's like a personal thing. That's how much they're getting. That's cool. That's their job, you know. But for me, it's the fees that the clubs have to pay for players. I think if they cap that, it will be better. But for me, wages wise, I don't really see a problem with that. He's a football player. That's the wage. Okay, cool. Let him earn it, you know, for him and his family.
Like I said, there's talks about what's going to go on. I think that right now, as Brian mentioned too, all these guys are very comfortable in their own skin with what's going on with the negotiations. They haven't come out and said, we're not talking to them, or they haven't said they've shut down negotiations at all. So, you know, it's ongoing. as to what we'll see happens. It's like here or there. There has been a report, and this is again a report that I saw that has October 7th, meaning Monday, as being a possible day to keep on your calendar, marked on your calendar as a day to keep an eye on the news, basically, or keep an eye here as well, because we'll certainly keep an eye on what happens. But apparently, Trent might make a decision by October 7th. It's saying. So that was at least one article that said that he was going to make a decision by October 7th. I don't know why October 7th, but that was in the article. Also in the news, or in the journos, as you guys like to say, it's this now we're getting talks about Branthwaite being a possible player that we are going to go after in the upcoming January market, January window at least. And we also might even, it's been said that again, that Manchester United obviously were very interested in his services. They offered quite a bit of money for him. Initially, Everton was going to have to make some sales because of their financial situations, but they seem to get they took the penalties. They seem to have managed their books somewhat better, a little bit better at least. I think they still got a two point deduction or something, I think I want to say. And now though they're in a place and position where they're now factoring out what it is to sign players, to keep players, and what it is just to stay in the league right now. So that's priority one, is to stay in the Prem. But they're also looking at it as if they are to go down. Oh, got a little echo. If they are to go down in as a relegated team, or even if they aren't, and they have to be somewhat forced to sell one of their big name players. I know that Calvert-Lewin is coming up for his contract's coming to an end right now. I think they might be in the last year of his deal. Do you know? Yeah. Well, I'm just speaking on their big name players. I know I got you on that. I got you on that reaction. Let me double check here. I'm pretty sure that's what it is right now. Is that years remaining? Dominic Calvert-Lewin is on 1 year, on his last year. Michael Keane's on his they have a lot of players in their last year, actually. So they have Broha on his last year. Ashley Young's on his last year. Begnanovic is on his last year. Virginia is on his last year. Who else is on his last year? Broho. I already said Young.
Broha is only
Broha. I said Broha.
Yeah,
Broha.
He's only there on
Armando is on his last year.
He's only on a 1 year loan deal. He's not on his last year.
And in that years remaining, 1 year. That's what it's saying.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not an Everton player. They didn't even get him, so they don't even own him.
Okay. I'm just going on the list of 1 year.
Ashley Young must be
on the list.
41 years old by the time you're. Ashley Young has to be nearly.
Mangala, Lindstrom, Coleman, Keane, Harrison.
As well. Damie's about 35, 36.
There's a lot of players. They have a lot of players on their last years of their deals, but what the biggest, their biggest asset is Branthwaite, and Branthwaite has got 3 years left on his deal. That's including this year. So next year he'll be on 2 years left on his deal, and if there's any time to make a decision, it'll be next year. For someone that is obviously homegrown, someone that's obviously is connected to the city the way he is, and also is someone that is a promising defender, someone that is looked at as being a very, very promising defender and young, talented defender as that. I'll ask the chat real quick, because it's going to take a bit to get him through the door. Again, Manchester United have pretty much solidified who they have selected as their center halves. So the likelihood of them going back in the market for him have definitely dissipated. Do you think that we should go for this player in January, if not in the summer, do you think? I'll ask JK, then I'll ask the Irishman, and tell me in the chat too. Do you think that we should go for this player, knowing that we're probably going to have we're going to have to probably pay a I kept putting extra letters in there.
Yeah,
we're going to have to
pray that we sign a player.
I know. We're going to have to pray to sign him possibly, but we're going to have to pay him extra, considering we'll probably have a little bit of an extra tax put on us if we were to go for this player. Do you think that's a player that's worth going for?
What's the player's name again, bro?
Branthwaite. Jared Branthwaite.
Okay, you're on my Branthwaite. Okay.
Yeah.
Like we're looking at 80 million there. You know?
Probably about.
Yeah.
That. Well, considering the numbers in the article, it's very interesting. In the article, they broke down other players that had, like, for instance, I'll read what it says here real quick. So I'll give you some background for it. Manchester United originally offered 35 million plus add-ons. Then they were offered 45 million pounds plus add-ons. The Blues said no to each of those offers. They're not going to be bullied off of it. But given the 80 million that Manchester United paid for Maguire in 2019, 75 million that Chelsea paid for Fofana in 2022, and the 77 million Manchester City paid for Vardiol in 2023, Everton consider Branthwaite to be in the same bracket as those players, and that's about the range of where they're looking to get him in, probably around 75 million pounds.
Yeah. Look, Everton near the bottom of the league. You know,
Right.
And I don't know. I just feel the Everton Liverpool thing is too much. Like modern day football is a bit different to the old days where Beasley went to Everton from Liverpool, and players like even Gary Ablett played for both teams. You know, so for me, I can't see that happening. And also, I think he'll end up at United. Why? Because United will pay that extra 20 million than we would.
Okay.
You know, that's another thing. Like Man United, pay wise, they'll give him a better wage packet as well. I just feel not for us. Good player, don't get me wrong, but he could be like the next John Stones. You know, for me, John Stones, top player. He did well at Man City after he left Everton. You know, so he's a good player, but I don't think we'll ever get him. My opinion, and for me, it's mad. Like we always think it's our own money when we say, "Oh, well, I don't really want to pay 80 million for him." But on the other hand, we'll moan about the owners not buying anyone. So for me, if we end up paying 80 million for him, yeah, it is what it is. You know, that's the price range nowadays.
Yeah, Red Armchair supporter saying, "Is he worth that? He couldn't make the England squad for the Euros."
For me, he's a 40 million.
Okay. 45 million.
For me, realistic 40, like in the realistic football world that we sort of live in, is sort of half that price, 40 million. He's had one top good season last season, you know, got his name known. So for me, 35 to 40 million is the real sort of price. But like, you know how football is going to be, Everton want to get at least 75, 80 for him.
Is that the only way? And Brian, I'm going to ask you a second question with your own opinion on the Branthwaite thing, but also a second opinion, because I just saw this in the chat too. I think it was Hylor says he doesn't see an Everton player signing for Liverpool in the near future. Is that is the only way that we could see a player signing that was possibly a former Everton player? Is it that he has to then go to another team before coming to Liverpool, or you know, like? I mean, that's at least that's what a lot of people had as the pathway for Gordon to become a Liverpool player. So is that the only way that we would be able to see this player come simply because he's an Everton player, or what are your thoughts on what we had to say here?
Well, look, Nelante rates him. You know, if he turns out to be half as good as John Stones. Like John Stones, because of injury and because of kind of inconsistency due to injury, kind of gets overlooked. But pure ability wise, John Stones is one of the best. He's one of the best in the league. I don't know. I'm not going out there and putting 80 million quid on the table. I'm like JK saying our money and all that, but what I'm thinking about is like, if we've got 150 to spend, I'm not putting down 80 of that on Jared Brantwaite, because look, if you can't, I still refuse to. If you can't go out onto the continent and get a player just as good as him for 35 to 40 million, then I'd be surprised. You know, I really, because of all the what you're talking about there, you know, and I don't think now.
He
No,
is a
I don't
left-footed
think the player.
He is a left-footed player. Lee.
I
think
don't. But to your second question, I don't think a player has to go via another club. Now, I think we could take somebody. You know, we had the Barnby thing. Like we were more competitive. They were more competitive with us. Like at this point, I don't really think there's any kind of real hatred there, because like I don't think Brantwaite is even a Scouser. You know, I'm not sure. I just don't. You know, but I don't see us. Like the thing is, it hasn't really been an issue for such a long time, because they've never had a player that we wanted,
right,
that was good enough to go. You know, and they've also never been in a position to come and take one of our players for a long time. You know, they might pick up somebody, you know, maybe that was leaving on a free or maybe something like that, but they couldn't. They're not coming and taking Andy Robbo, and we're not going and taking Dominic Calvert-Lewin because he's the best in the league. You know, they haven't had a player that we would want to go and break and create all of us and make, you know, be all dramatic and that stuff, and make someone cross the divide, as they say. It's just, it's been a long time since our two worlds have intersected like that, where we would be involved in negotiations for the same footballer. And then that one or two guys that might come along, someone like Brantwaite, like JK is saying, it will be like Man United will be the one that will come and go, oh, okay, we'll give you 70 and we'll pay him 280 grand a week.
They'll be the ones that buckle.
Yeah. Like we'll be just here and we'll go off and buy, you know, Johnny Alvarez or something, you know, some other guy for 28 million, and he'd be just as good. Hopefully, you know, that's I'd rather do that, because once you're getting up to that kind of, like, I have no problem with us going out and paying 80 million quid for a defender, but if we're spending 80 million quid on a defender, I'd want to be a lot more. I'd want him to have a lot more medals basically on the table already in the bank. This guy is a prospect still. Don't be giving me 80 million quid for a guy who might be this, might be that. If it's 80 million, I want the guy who is that. And that's not being unreasonable.
He was born in Carlisle. He was born in Carlisle.
Yeah, Cumbria. He's not Scouser. So he, you know, there's
he's
probably
Scottish,
not.
nearly.
Pretty
right
much.
on the border.
That's way up north. Yeah, that's way up north.
Wigton. Wigton.
Okay. I'm sure it's a place. I'm sure it's a place.
I think it's the name of might be the name of the actual. I don't know. Let me see. I'm sure it's a place, but it's a town in Cumbria. So that's the town he was born in. Is Wigton. Wigton. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so he ain't got no really affiliation to Everton. Like he wasn't born in Liverpool, and his dad,
he's
family
not a
all
Scouser.
Evertonians, and he ain't a Manchester United.
Tall guy,
he ain't from
6'5". 6'5". He's a tall guy. He's a tall guy. 6'5", 22 years old, 6'5", big guy. Yeah. Just a thought. But that's something that we said that is out there. I just wanted to give up those two little news updates out there that were kind of, I think, circulating, or maybe that you'll see with a little bit of this information in case you're in other chat forums, or if you're on socials, you can kind of talk about a little bit or do your own research as well. I'm sure you will. Okay. That's what Bernie just gave us the shout on where Wigton is. It's a small place in the Lake District of Cumbria. Interesting. I bet you it's beautiful. I bet you it's beautiful.
no doubt.
Really, yes.
No doubt.
Burn it. Yeah, okay. Marion just confirmed it. Really nice there.
Oh, the Lake District, well, it's famous for one of those, what do we call it, heritage areas, or what do they call them? National park, basically.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Okay. I got you. Well, the other thing that we want to talk about is this game. There was some pretty cool outcomes for our part, considering we played. This is the second time we've played an Italian team. This is the second win that we've gotten from an Italian team, considering that the last time we played an Italian team, it didn't go, or the last time before these two times, it didn't go so well. Or actually, I shouldn't say it didn't go so well, because we actually won that 1-0. So I should say the last time we faced them at Anfield, it didn't go so well. But this is what our manager had to say. He said that it's a tough team. Tactically, they are unbelievable. I'm glad we managed to win the game. It's normal that Bologna, it's normal, and he's talking about Bologna with their good spells. They're a team playing in the Champions League. It's a tough team. They had a very good season last year. The manager spoke at halftime. And as players, we also spoke together. We said to stick together and try to play our football. And I think that's what we did in the second half. It's pretty cool. What I mean by that is that Liverpool are one of the 7 clubs to have won both of their opening 2 fixtures in the Champions League new format. That means that we're not technically first because of goal differential and the likes, but we are still at the top of the table. And we're trying to make sure that we see our way through. Also, there are some quotes by Salah. Salah said, Mohamed Salah said, hopefully it's too early. So on building momentum, he says, hopefully it's too early. So we don't have to put pressure on ourselves. We just have to take it game by game and see what happens. Also, he went on to say it's a very important win and that they're all, they're very happy with it. But Mohamed Salah actually did something special in that he broke another record, which is not very surprising. Arne Slot broke a record as well. I want to say he broke 2 records. I think he was
a DJ.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He just broke it. He's a Greek DJ. He's doing hopa. He breaks records that way. No, he ended up winning. He's 8 out of 9. He's the first Liverpool manager to win his first 8 out of 9 games for Liverpool. Mo broke a record in scoring. He's the first Liverpool player to score in 5 consecutive home Champions League matches. I think that was the crazy, those like kind of weird records, it's not necessarily like the first record off the top of your head, but maybe it's one of those like, one of those when we come up upon trivia days, you can expect to hear that kind of who scored the most goal or who scored the most consecutive goals at Anfield in Champions League history for Liverpool. And currently that is Mohamed Salah with 5 straight games.
Did you see the one that Helor put up there?
No, I put it up. Where was it? Let me see. Oh, right here, I think. Congratulations goes out to Mo. Oh, overtaking. That was going to be one of my next points too, as well. He has overtaken Drogba as the highest scoring African player in the history of the Champions League with 45 goals in the tournament proper. Definitely so. Congratulations. He's beat out. He was tied with Drogba. Now he's gone ahead. I know. I'm trying to think of who's in 3rd place, and I do know who's in 3rd place. I just got to think of it.
Eto'o is what I would guess. Yeah.
Okay.
It's Eto'o. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so Drogba did score a lot of goals, when you really look at it.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
He was
For
a
sure.
good player.
He was a
Top
good
striker.
player. For sure, was a good player. Definitely put in some work for them.
Don't play against him, man. Hey,
Yeah, don't
Hey,
bet
he-
against him scoring.
hated playing against him. Absolutely hated playing against him. Yeah, absolute
He'd be
prick,
like,
sorry.
yeah, he had this
Oh.
attitude I didn't like, you know what I mean? But
Oh.
he'd be like, next year, if Chelsea get to the Champions League, I need to come back and score a few goals so I beat Salah to that title, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he was certainly had that mentality. He would
You know,
definitely.
he would.
Oh, they had it like with I mean, Costa was a bit of a nutcase, but Drogba was just as much of a wind-up merchant as Costa ever was.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Did they buy him from Marseille?
Yeah.
It was Marseille, wasn't it? Yeah. Top player, top striker. They haven't really had a decent striker since, you know what I mean? Really. They all seem to fail with strikers, Chelsea.
Yeah.
I think Drogba was one of the hits out of all that money they've spent on strikers. They've had everyone, you know. So, yeah.
Like who?
Yeah, Torres. They had
Torres, Lukaku, Morata, Costa. Costa did okay there, actually, numbers wise.
Yeah, Costa did okay.
Who was the lad that they had that was
Shevchenko was up in there, remember?
Yeah, fucking.
He didn't do well.
Abramovich goes out and buys Shevchenko. Like,
yeah,
Mourinho said, like, look, boy, don't buy me Shevchenko. I don't need him. I'm going to play Drogba up front. Yeah. And he was just like, no, you won't. You'll play Shevchenko. And he put Shevchenko out on the wing. Guess what? You know, Crespo.
Yeah, Crespo. Yeah.
They tried a lot. Yeah, it's a hell of a list of names.
Yeah,
but yeah,
incredible player, absolutely incredible player. He also put this as well. It says Leaf Drogba also became the 15th highest goal scorer in the history of the European Cup, and 13th highest since the Champions League began in 1992.
Not bad.
I think Drogba was a beast. By the way, Hyler, you are correct about that. Big up to KJ joining us right now. Big up KJ.
Best KJ.
KJ.
But and big up Dustin, by the way. Big up to Dustin.
All right, bless Dustin.
But I will say that to those out there that were questioning whether Mohamed Salah has lost something or isn't, you know, like it's one of those things where,
like for me, like on Sunday, he won us the game against Wolves by scoring that penalty, you know, and there was murmurings about Salah, and I'm thinking, this guy just scored the goal for us to get 3 points, you know? Yeah. And then yesterday, the guy just casually, like, did you notice in the first half, he tried to be a passer of the ball. He weren't looking at shooting, scoring goals. He was like, I want to set up some goals today.
Try to help down.
And I think yesterday he just got the assist, got the goal. And his goal was a beauty. It was like back in the day sort of goal Salah used to score, you know, that get it from the right, come in.
Classic.
As soon as that was a classic Salah goal, that, and it was good to see after a long time. We haven't seen that type of goal from Salah, you know. It just opened up nicely yesterday. The way that gap opened, and I thought, you know what, he's going to score here. Boom.
And boom.
So that's what he needs to do more of. Shoot to score, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. What's this about? Oh yeah, I'll talk about that at the end of the thing. We have like, all right, we can talk about it real quick. I was just saying, since it's on my mind, we have a lot to look forward to the weekend, I guess. With I don't know if you guys saw the referee announcement. I don't know if anyone in the chat saw it either, but we have
Hulk Hogan.
Our referees are going to be.
Is it Hulk Hogan?
No, it's not Hulk Hogan.
Not Hulk Hogan.
It might be. Or I don't know. Is that his nickname? Simon Hooper.
No, he was on a list. I voted for Hulk Hogan.
You voted for Hulk Hogan. Okay.
Yeah.
Simon Hooper is going to be our referee, and David Coote. David Coote is going to be VAR.
Oh,
we have a history with those guys. Not a good history, by the way. But 12:30 start. We'll deal with what we have to deal with, I guess.
He might be looking into a way where he can give us the amount of backlash he's got since that game. He's probably thinking, what can I do to make it sort right now, you know? So might work to our favor. You never know.
Yeah.
See what happens.
let's get into some of these ratings real quick. What was your quick diagnosis, excuse me, of the game for you, Irishman? Like, as in, you know how I like to ask that, was there a feel good moment of the game for you where you're just like, okay, that kind of like allowed for me to like breathe easy, or maybe that was like the thing that you'll bring up first probably when talking about the highlights of the game? What was something for you for the game?
Vincenzo Italiano, crazy bastard.
Okay.
Didn't stop from day one. Yeah, I loved it. I thought that was hilarious. It was great fun all night. It was a great game to watch.
Yeah, in his bank robber jacket.
Yeah, in his Gucci gangster thing going on. I mean,
yeah, but that jacket's real good jacket. My bro was telling me, he was like, "Is the top quality one?" But I didn't know what the name
we were
was.
speculating last night. We knew it was. Yeah, it looks crazy, but that's going to cost you like $2,000. We know that's some Gucci shit. Like, probably.
Yeah, man, he's going to feel no cold in that jacket, man. But he was up and down like a yo-yo, so he's probably sweating.
No, it looks like it was like something that you go to like the top of the mountains.
Yep. Yeah. He's out of the Liverpool.
Tell us tell us if there's something you guys want to share. Oh, I'm sorry, JK. I was just gonna say, if there's something that you guys want to share as your feel good moment, please share it in the chat as well. Please share in the chat. I'll bring it up so it's included in the conversation. Go ahead, JK. What was your feel good moment?
Mine was when we opened them up for our first goal, the way we scored that first goal, the teamwork. I thought, okay, we're going to score goals today, you know. So I always have that feeling throughout the game, we're going to score today, you know. So that was a moment for me where it sort of chilled me out. But other than that, I just feel, again, we allowed their midfield a bit too much of the ball. Yeah, that was the only bad side of the game. I just feel we gave them a lot of the ball in the first half. Second half, it was better for us, though. But I just reckon in the first half, that guy from the old Burnley player, was it? He was acting like he was Maradona. Like, hit the post and everything, you know? I think, you know, when players leave the Premier League, then they come back to, say, Liverpool or Anfield or whatever, when they've left the Premier League, they always seem to try hard against us. I always notice that when players leave England, they come back and trying to play big time against Liverpool. Mad. They should have done that in the Premier League. You know what I mean? When they were here. Yeah,
they seem to always do that. I think a lot of the players tend to do those kinds of things simply because they know it's it's a it's gonna be a highly watched game. You know, so of course they're gonna want to, like, showcase their talents. You know, impress, whether it's to get a move, possibly to get a move to Anfield, maybe, or get a move to Liverpool. Because, I mean, you know how we love to go and get those players to end up doing some business against us.
Yeah, exactly.
It's great to see a player, though. I mean, we talk about the ground and the club and all that. Like, we can't overlook the fact that maybe this is kind of, give some of these players extra juice and extra motivation to go out and because they're out there, they're at Anfield. It's they might walk off thinking, well, I didn't, wow, I had a good game, tonight, and then you find out 2 weeks later, like, someone noticed how good you were and they watched you in that game. I think it might come from the other, but I think sometimes guys just go out and they're fired up. They're like, you don't get to play many games at Anfield, so you might go out there with like certain thoughts in the back of your head, maybe. Well, if someone might notice me if I have a bad game, but I think more than anything else, you just want to go out there and play well, because a lot of people are going to be watching. You want to have a good game because you're a player. You want to play well first and foremost. And I like to see it that some people, they don't wilt, they take it. Like, like that guy that scored, ruled offside, the one that people were talking about before the game, did well against us for Toulouse. It's some players, you see, they don't kind of get they don't wilt under the lights. We say, under lights at Anfield, big nights. Some of these guys from these players you've never heard of or clubs you've never heard, they come and like, yeah, give it to me. I can't wait to get out there and play. You love to see that.
Yeah,
you really do. I thought they were great. I will say that I thought they were really good last night, Bologna. In parts,
they came out and did what a lot of people didn't think they would do, which is like hang with us, or at least try to give some orientation of their game and what they wanted to do in the game, and that was very interesting to see. Very interesting to see. I saw that a lot of people were saying basically that the game was good for like a good 20 minutes, and then basically, it was a sluggish type game.
But for me, I think.
Yeah. By the way, I did see that. Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say real quick. Hi, Laura. I did see this too, because they had, like, how they do the behind the scenes for Liverpool. They had there was, I think they were following someone in the train or walking through the facility, and I saw Dan's walking through, like, actually, like, in the facility, actually looking like he was going to possibly go and do some workouts or whatever. So that was good.
No,
to
that
see.
was a Joe Hart's interview with Allison. They walked past Dan's in the corridor. Is that the one?
Yeah, you saw that. Okay, yeah, that's where I saw it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you can't miss the hair. Basically, you can't miss the hair. Yeah, white t-shirt and a huge big fucking mop of hair going past, like.
Yeah. So, that was the situation with him. Was that I saw? I'm hoping that he's going to be healthy, that he's working his way back to complete fitness, and that he'll join the club in some way and somehow at some point. What were you going to say, JK? I'm sorry to cut you off.
I was just going to quickly say, I think yesterday's game was all about the result, being Slot's first game. I wasn't really bothered about how we played yesterday, if you understand what I mean. As long as we won, that was like, I think football sometimes, you got to play pretty bad sometimes and still win. It shows you a good energy, even though when the ship's not sailing really good, you still end up getting to the destination. So that's what yesterday's game was. I don't think we were great. Gravenberch sort of grew in the game. First half, not really there. The second half, much better by him, hence why we look better in the second half.
Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty solid evaluation. You want we can get into the ratings as well. I mean, pull this up too as well. Because you're right. Let me show this. This was the basic lineup yesterday for the game. It's up as well, and we're gonna start off with bringing up Ali as the first to get rated. Let's get rocking and rolling in these ratings. We're coming up on the hour mark for today, and I figure it's a good as time as ever to get involved in these ratings. So let me make sure I have it all set up here. For Ali, what were you guys thinking about Ali? We can start with JK and then go to Irishman, and tell us in the chat. Obviously, we want to know your ideas as to what you viewed them, because your opinions matter and count, on this channel. So, JK, what was your rating for our keeper?
I'm gonna give him an 80. Clean sheet. So for me, that's automatic 70, 75 anyway. Just the 80. He had a few good saves he had to do, just take care of stuff. He did like one goal kick that went like it was the old school Alisson to Salah sort of kick, It was in the second half, that was. So for me, I'm going to give him just 80 because like clean sheet.
Okay. Irishman?
Yeah, well, JK, pretty much everything I would say was the same. That ball for Salah was ridiculous. On the volley thrown out of his hands and just, fully 70 yards right onto his toe. So, 75.
Oh, cool. 75?
75.
75. Okay. Yeah, no, I heard you. 75. I also see Hollywood Rock. Thank you for that update too, by the way. It looks like Porto has just tied it up. It must be in the first, I think it's still in the first half of that Manchester United game. So they just tied it up. But Nolante has Ali at an 80. 75 from Jimmy, 80 from Red Armchair Supporter. Trap Joe has it at 85. Dustin has them as a 10 or 100. Bernie has him as an 80. And Marion has him at an 80. And KJ has him at 75.
Yeah, but if he had his
So
beard, would he get a 90?
he might. He just might. He just might. Let's put him at. Does a 77 sound fair?
No, I think 80,
Yeah, I know,
bro.
80
I think a lot of
maybe.
people said 80.
80, I guess.
Got
Because he
another
got the
80.
clean sheet. He did get the clean sheet.
You just got another 80 as well.
I see Lee. Yeah, I see Lee just gave him another 80. I was trying to go in between because there's like 75s, and I know you guys gave him like 75 and 70 in the 75 range. So that's why I was thinking 77. But all right, 80 is cool. 80 is cool. He got a clean sheet, so it's worth it. How about for our captain? Then let's move on to him and get a rating for VVD. Virgil.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say was your rating for Virgil, Irishman?
Ooh, 70. I think I'll just give him a 70.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about Virgil.
Okay. What's your score, JK?
I'm going to give him an 80 because of the clean sheet again. And also, he got a yellow card pretty early on, and he kept it cool the whole game. So he's sort of disciplined in not getting a second yellow, you know. So I'm going to give him an 80, bro.
Okay. 70 from Trap Joe, 80 from High Lore, 75 from Bernie. Dustin gave him 100. Definitely trying to move that the curve up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Red Armchair supporter gave him 80. 75 from Jimmy. 75 from Delonte. Said he was solid. Obviously, Marion gave him 100. He's the prince in her eyes. I had him at a 73, but I'm willing to bump it up. I guess let's call it a. There's a lot of 80s in there too, actually. A lot of 80s, 75s, 80s. How about a 77? I mean, I guess we'll give him 77 because
77 is cool.
How about for Ibu? What was your rating on Ibu, JK?
For his acting when him and the other dude got a yellow card together. Like, that was like a comedy. That was comedy at its best, that one. That was like some Hollywood film. That was wicked. So, but for me, again, clean sheet. So I'm going to give him a 75. Yeah.
Okay. How about for you, Irishman?
I give him the same as Virgil. I don't think he had a standout game. I don't really think they had a. Well, it's weird because they did put a lot of pressure on us. So, yeah, I'll just give him the same as VBD. I'll give him a 70 as well.
Okay. Ibu obviously is going to get 100 from Marion. I know that she's definitely stacking the deck when it comes to her ratings for her favorites. 75 from KJ. Dusty gave him 80. Nalante gave him a 70. Red Armchair supporter 77. Bernie 73. 82 from Trap Joe. 85. Oh, now we're pushing up into the 80s. 85 from Lee. 82 from High Lore, and 77 from Jimmy. I didn't think he had a better game than Virgil, personally. A lot of people from the scores I'm seeing, I think people had the conception that he had a better game than actually Virgil did. Actually, I originally had him at a 70, but what's the score do you think we should give him then? I'm looking at it: 85, 82, 77.
75.
Yeah, 75.
All right. 75 it is. I didn't think he did Trap Joe personally, but it's cool. It's cool. He threw his body on the line. Jimmy's saying, I got you. That's something that I'm glad to see that he's doing, and not, obviously next day complaining about, the aches and pains. How about for Robbo then, people? How about for Robbo? How about for Robbo? Almost the entire back line had yellow cards. Robbo had one as well.
Little tug, yeah. On
Yeah.
the shirt. Yeah, a little pull, you know.
I think the referees were a little bit, unforgiving with some of their some of the choices of giving out cards in this game.
But for me, a pull on the shirt is an automatic yellow. It don't matter. I
agree with that. I agree with that. I when you saw it in the replay, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
He deserved it. It was funny, man.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm going to give him a 75 as well. I think he played pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, he was he was doing good work on the left as well. With Diaz, even Darwin was like 1-2s and stuff. Gakpo, I think he did pretty well, Robbo.
Okay. Some high scores there. All right. Seeing a Robbo 65 from Lee, 78 from Trap Joe, 73 from Bernie, 72 from Nolante. Jimmy gave him a 74, 75 from Marion. How about and Dustin gave him an 80. How about for you, Irishman? What was Robbo's performance yesterday?
Yeah, I'm just getting this with the whole back line. They never really stood out. They never had any real outstanding moments. They just kind of got on. They got on with their job throughout the game. So I'll just stick with them. I think I'll just give Robbo a 70 as well. I just said he had a good Robbo game, and Virgil had a good Virgil game, usual Virgil stuff, but didn't really blow my mind. They was, oh wow, Robbo this, Robbo that. Yeah, I suppose he did get involved, is what he will. But I just think, for him, it's just a 70. I think I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, looks like everyone's there. I originally gave him a 68, but let's make it a 70. I wasn't the lowest for Lee saw it my way too. Lee said he was a 65. Red Armchair supporter said it was a 68 too. I mean, we can give him a 70 though.
Yeah, I think the
yellow
clean
card
sheet will
was,
make 70.
Yeah, the clean sheet, I'll bump him into the 70 range. Well, then how about then for his fullback partner, Trent Alexander-Arnold, the guy that we were talking about earlier that's trying to get a new contract? What was his rating to you, Irishman? What was his rating?
Remind me, what did he do that I should be remembering?
Yeah. I don't think personally, I don't have him as a high scorer either. I have him right around the same. I'll just reveal I had him at a 66. But
that's his number.
He had 85 minutes. Got subbed in for Connor Bradley late. He did have an error that led to a shot. He had 59 touches, was 74% with his passing, 29 out of 39, 0 out of 3 for his crosses, 5 out of 9 for long balls, 2 out of 3 for his ground duels. That's it. Possession loss 18 times. But other than that, nothing.
Tell you what.
2 tackles.
Hang on. He lost possession 18 times.
18 times possession loss, yes.
He gave the ball away 18 times.
Yeah. That's actually somewhat low for him sometimes. Sometimes he has like shockingly high numbers sometimes.
Oh. I mean, I thought he was a bit underwhelming, but that's a 50 for me.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, everyone's see now I don't feel so bad by giving him a 66. It looks like I gave him the highest score out of anyone now so far.
That's a poor performance.
At least in the chat, at least as well. JK, what about you?
I'm gonna give he wasn't great. You didn't really recognize him or realize he was playing. But for me, I'm gonna give him a 70 because I always have a thing where if they get a clean sheet, the defense, I'll give them more automatic 70.
Yeah, but JK
got 2 assists.
JK, he gave the ball away 18
Oh, that was bad.
times.
Yeah, that was bad. Come on, I understand.
Holy hell, man.
Yeah, that was bad. That was a phase where in the game where I realized we were a bit weird and acting a bit. It was just like a 5-10 minutes where we kept losing the ball.
If you do that against Real Madrid, what do you think is going to happen to you? What do you think is going to happen to you against Man City if you give the ball away 18 times?
No, agreed. Agreed.
That needs to be better, man. And then 0 out of 3 for his crosses. I mean, if he's not if he's not connecting with his crosses, at least, yeah, that's a poor night for Trent, man. Jesus. Are you sure you still want to go that high, JK, for a clean sheet? I mean,
Yeah, but like for me, I always feel like I think yesterday's game it wasn't full pelt, and I think the manager has told Trent not to go full steam in this game. If you understand my
Right.
point.
yeah, fair enough. Okay. Well,
So I think maybe he was asked to play that role where he's concentrating on his defensive side of the game. Trent's always been an attacking right back, but he's a right back at the end of the day. So I think yesterday he wasn't really asked to do a lot of attacking. I just felt like he was told to stay back. He had that moment where he sort of lost the ball. God knows what he was doing. But I'm going to give him a 70 because of the clean sheet. It was part
Do
of
you
that
think-
defense.
do you think he could tell him to
No,
stop
yeah,
giving the
I remember
ball
that.
away?
I remember that.
Do you think
Yeah,
that was
do you
horrible.
think
That
do
was
you think he'd try? Could he try that for next game? Tell him don't give the ball away. Maybe try telling him that in his pre-match Geo. I mean, maybe I'm overreacting here, but just for comparison, what's the next highest? Or I mean, in terms of giving the ball away on our team, possession lost. I mean, is there someone on our team who gave the ball away more, or is that the most?
I'd have to look, but
I mean, that
he
played more
normally
than
is
60
the
minutes.
person. Unfortunately, because he has so many touches with the ball, he normally is the person that has the most giveaways when it comes to losing the ball. I know that because I've seen some.
Yeah,
18.
if
I
you're
know it
saying to me-
sounds like a lot, but I've seen him have more than that in some games. That's what's pretty crazy.
yeah, but if you then say like he had like what 5 long balls, was it?
Mhm,
Because he only had 3 out of 5 in the long balls or something. I think you said.
mhm.
So that means
for long balls was 5 out of 9. Yeah, 5 out of 9.
okay. So he gave away 4 from long passes. So that still leaves 14.
Yeah.
So where are they? Is that in front of? Is that in our defensive zone or whatever?
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
That's not great though. But yeah, we'll move on. Happier times.
Yeah.
Robin Birch, man of the match as usual, I assume.
I agree. I mean, considering all things considered, Robbo gave away the ball 7 times. That's a
Yeah.
that's a
As
probably
somebody,
right
that's a good,
right around the number you-
comparison because he's a fullback
Yeah.
as well. And
yeah. I'm looking to see if anyone else gave out more, lost the ball more. Nope.
I fucking hope not.
Well, no, Mohamed Salah had 18 possession losses too.
Oh, okay. Get
So
ends on the
he
ball.
was tied for the most with
Get ends on the line.
Yeah.
He'll be,
So the
yeah,
right
he'll be
side,
fair.
the right side, we have no control of the right side apparently. The right
Yeah.
side is the ball.
Holy
right
heck.
All right, well then I'll stick with a 66. That's so far the lowest number. Now let's go to McAllister. Arguably my early nomination for man of the match, by the way. But what was your score for Maka? JK, what was your score for Maka?
I think he played pretty well, actually. He got a goal. So for me, I was pretty happy with his all-round display, actually. I'm going to give him an 80.
Trap Joe it technically is a pass, but it's not a pass. It's not a pass when you give it to the other team. It's not a good pass. So I think that's why. But anyway, what was your score? I'm sorry, JK. What did you say, Maka?
80. It was 80, bro. Yeah.
80. What was your score for Maka, Irishman?
Give me some stats. Come on.
Right.
Give me some stats.
Obviously had a goal.
Yeah.
XG was 0.83. He could have scored on another shot too. 57 touches, was 90%, 36 out of 40 for his passing. 1 out of 2 long balls. Shots on target 1. 1 out of 2 for his dribble attempts. 4 out of 6 for his ground duels. 1 out of 3 for his aerial duels. Lost the ball 6 times. Gave out 1 foul, but was fouled 4 times.
He's always getting fouled. He's getting kicked all over.
He's getting kicked all over the pitch.
Every game he gets one. He gets a big one every single game.
had 4 interceptions, and those are his stats. 4 interceptions. Played a full 90.
Yeah, those are really, really solid numbers. Kind of backing up what I was thinking, that he just had a really solid game. Again, he wasn't at his spectacular best when he can.
Mhm.
Not that he's ever spectacular. I mean, that's not a great, but sometimes his first time
The heart of
passing,
our
his speed
team right
pass.
now. I think he's the heart of our
Yeah,
team.
the way he can open up a team, he has that ability in him. But just again, kind of like the Virgil thing, like it was a real good Virgil performance. It was a real good Robbo performance. This was a good McAllister performance, but it was probably a little bit better than Virgil's Virgil. So I will give McAllister a 78.
Okay.
78.
So 80 and a 78. Okay. I know. You're getting called out there. You dropping too many swears. Got to put some money in the swear jar.
No, Marion just said that's the first time she's ever heard me swear. That can't be possible, Marion.
Oh,
that can't be the first time you've ever heard. No.
Maybe she just automatically blocks it out. Maybe she blocks it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. 85. Mac. Okay, 85 from Bernie. Trap Joe says Macca was solid considering. Tell us what's the considering part.
Yeah, exactly. Considering what? Considering, and that's an open-ended statement there, kind
of. That's the one I have. I can actually, you know what? I think I have a better picture of him, but it's of him celebrating. So I might have a better picture of him. I'll look for a better picture. 80 from Nolante, 86 from Jimmy. Let's say I had him at a 82, by the way. I think that's fair. 82 is fair. I know you guys had him 78, 80, 85, 85, 86. A lot of 80, 85, 86s to push it up a little bit. KJ
okay. Considering how the game went.
Yeah. Well, considering he had the game winner, basically.
But yeah, man, sometimes I don't know. They have these things.
Oh, you're talking about his considering. I guess you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what Joe was
talking about. Why again?
The game.
Sorry.
Oh no, that was his considering
his comment. I got you. He took. I mean, look, the guy was taking hacks left and right. He was still motoring on. I remember mentioning it to Brian. I said how he was attacking the box. Like there's a couple of times when he was like the most viable option to be able to get the pass into the box into making those kind of runs. And obviously got one goal off of one and could have got a second one too. It wasn't for a good save. So 82, I think is fair. How about for Grava? I know some people are probably going to have him as their man.
Doesn't he get an automatic 100? Doesn't he get an automatic 100 these days?
I know. That's how it is right now. Grava is feeling it.
Red carpet, before he walks the red carpet, gets to the game, gets handed
this guy is not buying a drink. He doesn't have to buy a drink anywhere he goes in the city, at the moment.
He gets to the game, man. It's already sitting there on his chair when he walks into the dressing room before they even kick off. I had a match trophy for Grava. That's the way it seems to be right now. It
is. Let's see, 82 from High Lord. No, that was for McAllister, excuse me. KJ gave him an 80. Dustin gave him a 90. 85 from Nolante. What are you giving him, JK?
I'm going to give him an 85 as well, bro. Second half, he grew into the game. First half, not so great. But second half, much better. So I'm going to give him 85.
Okay.
One of the men of the match. Like one of the man of the matches. Like who's in the top 3, say he's one of them.
Or a man of the match candidate, we'll call it.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah. Because I think that there are others that might venture into that category as well. 85 from Bernie, 95 from Marion, 90 from Lee, 84 from Jimmy, 86 from Trap Joe. He got a lot of big time scores. Interesting.
Did you miss Nolante?
He gave him. Oh yeah, he gave him
100.
100 for swivels.
Yeah, gotta watch them knees, man. You gotta watch them knees if you're gonna be swiveling like that.
Yeah.
But
Cody
Levante,
knows
we know what your thing is now. Levante likes a swivel, so we all love a swivel.
the swivel.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll ask for you can give me the stats on him as well. I like the stats on the midfield. I like the stats on the midfielders, you know.
Okay. For 90 minutes played, he had a .003 expected XG or XG. I should say not expected XG because that's what the X stands for. But XG. He had .08 for XA, but he had 59 touches, 41 out of 46 for his passing, 2 key passes, 1 long ball, 1 out of 1 for his long balls. He had 1 shot, but it was off target. It was 3 out of 5 for his dribble attempts. There was that 1 dribble attempt that was really, really good, where he just like kind of turned and you could see the space just narrowing, but he was still able to just slot on through. 4 out of 7 for his ground duels. Lost the ball 9 times, 1 clearance, 1 tackle, and he did have an error that led to a shot.
Yeah, it's decent, isn't it? It's pretty consistent. I mean, the fact that he played 90 is going to become an issue at some point.
At some point, yeah.
But you deal with that when it happens. I think maybe you just look at things differently. You do you plan for injuries that never arrive, or or do you just go what you have until you got to change it? I think it looks like we're doing the latter at the moment. He's just so good. He really is. He's just so good on the ball. And his, I think one of the things that affects your confidence the most on the pitch is your first touch and vice versa.
Agreed.
When you're in the mood, you want the ball. You want it. Like when you're not, sometimes you don't want the ball. JK will tell you this. Sometimes you don't want it. You're like, oh man, no, don't pass it to me. The last touch I had was horrible. I just give it to someone else and let me get a less important touch and then get back into it. He wants it. He wants it in the middle. He wants it when there's pressure on. He wants it when there's players around him. He's like, give me this. I can spin this guy. Give it to me.
Yeah.
I love it. He must be feeling, I reckon, the best he's felt about his game since he was at Ajax. And I think that smile there is kind of probably how he's feeling right now. I think he is. And long may it continue,
Yeah, absolutely.
A player at home with his role in the midfield feeling like all of a sudden the world is talking about him. I mentioned this a lot of times, and it's happened already twice this season. It's happened with 2 of our players, and I said, look, there's going to come a point where it's not just going to be us talking about it. And I always say there's going to be an article in The Guardian on Monday that's a special op-ed piece about Gravenberch, Gakpo. These guys, I said, I wanted him to have a performance in a big game that meant that article was getting written. He did it against Manchester United, and on the Monday there was a Guardian piece saying Ryan Gravenberch, Liverpool's new midfield maestro, yada yada yada. I wanted him to have that breakout moment, which made the national media and those people notice this guy, not just us as fans, realize what he's been doing this year and how good he's been, and they have now. People are like, absolutely. Give it another 6 months and it'll be Real Madrid are looking at him in Barcelona. That's what it's going to. That'll be the next thing. That'll be the next bit.
That'll be the next thing. Right, rumors will start popping up about, about destinations, other destinations for Gravenberch. But look, Grava has definitely made a announcement to the world, certainly, that he is a player. And given the chance in this new role, not new role, but new role for us, I think Grava has taken it and really
and apparently the share price of Humble Pie went up by 600%.
I was about to say something similar there. I was just reminiscing about the times where it's mad how fans think they know a player. Oh, he's not good enough for Liverpool. How many times do we hear about Gakpo and Gravenberch not good enough for Liverpool? In the last 6 months, say.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do these guys know?
No. I gotta get. I'm gonna have to bump the score. I had him at a 73, so I had him at a pretty low score considering that he did have a mistake.
First off,
and that's the thing about Gravenberch right now is that there's very few people out there that were still raving about this guy when people were saying he wasn't good enough, other than like myself. But even I'm like a little bit measured with it in that
when you ask players,
you got to be very. Yeah,
but when you ask players to take chances,
Yeah.
when you ask for players to take chances, and Slot has talked about this before. He said, "Look, I ask players to take chances, and every now and again something will happen." And then he says, "Look, you can't mitigate for everything, but you've got Grav. So if that happens, then we have Virgil, right? Okay,
Right.
so something will happen. Then we have Ali, and we have the best goalkeeper in the world. So if he make a mistake and you can get past Virgil, then you've got Ali." 99 times out of 100, that's going to be enough. Either Grav won't make the mistake, Virgil will stop it, or Ali will save it.
Yeah, no, I get it.
That's football. Like if he only makes one mistake in a game, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
No one's going to be perfect. No.
I get that.
It might be that game change because of the role he plays. It might be a really high profile error. Get that. But if everything else he does, it's like, look, we're a team. And the manager says, I asked him to do that. I asked him to take that risk. If he does something that the manager hasn't asked him to do and plays
That's
a really stupid,
yeah.
that's a very different story.
They did mention that. They did mention something about that. I think that might have been the error that he had that led to the shot. But they've mentioned on the broadcast I was watching, or one of the broadcasts I was watching, they mentioned how Arnie has told his players to take away those little specialty flicks that they would do, those kind of
around the corner little flicks.
Yeah, they're just saying now. He's just saying keep it open up your body and pass the ball, as opposed to trying to do some crazy back heel or something like that. They're just saying just make it very, very basic with what you have to do with your techniques in distributing the ball. And that's something that what was mentioned that Arnie has told the team that he wants them to do. So it is what it is, I guess. I'm giving him an 84, people. I know I had a low score, especially considering all the man of the match shout, or 84 and 95 from who was it? Someone gave him a 95. Who was that? It was Marion gave him a 95. I got you. Lee gave him a 90. Guys are up there. So I gave him 84. How about that? Let's move on to Dominic, a player that has been in the headlines lately, or at least in the conversation circles when it comes to this guy's performance in the 10. Let me just say this right now. I'll just say my piece about Dom. He was the cover. He was our cover boy for the preview, or for the roll call. Excuse me. I think Dom is getting, unfortunately, a short stick, or or not getting that much of leeway when it comes to the evaluation of this player. Dom is a good player. I think he has the potential to be a world-class player. He's not world-class right now. I'm not saying that, but I said he has the potential to be world-class as he grows into it. But I just think that him being the number 10 and him in our what we're asking from our number 10 is a little bit somewhat different than what you ask from the ideal number 10s or the idea of what we have as for a number 10. We all want him to score more and the likes, but this guy has an engine that's so important that it is noticeable. I mean, one of the opportunities that they had on a break actually was Dominic tracking back and snuffing out that opportunity. I thought he had a good game yesterday, but I'd like to hear what you guys think. I'll begin with Brian and now go to JK. Brian, what was your evaluation on Dom? I'm seeing the evaluations pour in the chat too.
Yeah, if you want to read the first few before I go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. Let me make sure that one's about him. Okay. Slot wants players to do exactly what he asked that for the ball, but that's about my comment. I'm sorry. But with the ball, they have more freedom to play their best. Lamonte saying he always been good. He wasn't that bad last season. It was the physicality and passes at times. He scored a few goals. Agreed, Lamonte. Hyler saying some brilliant turns and powerful runs from deep in truth. The kind few have the combination of power and technique to pull off, but also he surged beyond his zone a fair bit, which left us open. And then Lee Wiskett says he is like the frontline general, organizing the press. Exactly, Lee. This is a great point. And then chasing everything everywhere. That's exactly what that's why I mean, the engine and just the work ethic of this guy is nothing to snicker at. Go ahead, Brian. What was your scores? The rest are pretty much just scores.
Yeah. And no, just like you said, we'd all like him to score more, but one of those people that would like him to score more is Arne Slot. And he came out and he said it in a press conference. He came out and he said it in a press conference about two players, Diaz and Szoboszlai. Yeah. And he did a little kind of, checking their numbers, going, is that what they scored? No, that's not good enough last season. You got to do better than that. Mm-hmm. You're an attacking midfielder for Liverpool. So he threw down the gauntlet. And he acknowledged the work rate. He acknowledged all the good stuff. Diaz has taken up that message. Diaz has basically gone 5-5 or 5-6. Like Diaz is putting up numbers we all wanted. Yeah. Like we all knew he could. Like, I don't want to use the dreaded, but that's end product. That's what we're all calling for. A guy that's doing what Diaz is doing now. And Slot pretty much said the same thing. He's like, Diaz, he needs to do better. Numbers wise, not work rate, but he said, as players, at the end of the season, they look at their numbers, and your numbers need to be up, dude. And Diaz has responded. He said the same to Dom. Now, it might take a little bit longer with Dom. Now, all I would say is I've learned one thing this season, and one thing I've learned this season is you do not want to be on Dakota B's shit list, because when she makes a call on you, you are gone. So that girl is vicious. Okay, so poor Dom. Dom, don't go to visit Dakota. Okay, your good looks aren't getting you away with anything.
Shout out to you.
Yeah. The Capri Sun can be vicious. But yeah, it hasn't quite worked a little bit with Dom. It's like all the ability is there, all the talent is there. So it might just take a run of bang, 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 goal, assist, goal, and one of them's a nice range shot, one of them's a nice 25-yarder, and he's off and running. The confidence kicks in. But the player is there. I don't really doubt that. I think he's been a little bit more political when it comes to calling Darwin for scoring more goals, but he's focused on the two attacking mids and say you should be scoring more. And hopefully
he did. Slot did make a comment. Hopefully, I might have that comment. I might have it, but he did make a comment on. He was asked about Darwin, and he did make a comment on too. But we'll get to Darwin when Darwin's name is called.
Yeah. No, I still have a lot of time for Dominic as a potential player, because he's not. If this guy was 27, I would have an issue, but he's not, and I know he's had off the field shit, and it's a new coach. So, I mean, but I've seen him do enough, and I think he has. Most importantly, I think he has the physicality to thrive in the Premier League. So it's only a matter of taking his technique, and it's not like, oh, look, he's really good at football, but he's not big enough, or he's not strong enough, or he's not. I really just think it's like this guy. It has time for him to click again, and I think the role he's playing in is where everybody wanted to see him, centrally and creatively. So I think maybe a run of a couple of good games, or he gets a goal and an assist in one game or something, and he might go on a run, and then we'll see something. But yeah, I'll give him a 68 last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your score, JK, for him?
I'm gonna give him an 80 because the amount of sort of stick he's been having in the last few weeks. And yesterday, I think he was the one who stepped up out of the midfielders. He was like constantly sort of just involved and stuff. I think he got the assist actually. He did get an assist for Salah.
He got an assist, yes. I know Milante and Dustin were going back and forth about that, but he did get the assist to Mo Salah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. So there you go. So we got that. So for me, I'm going to give him an 80. I think much improved display by him. You know, it was good to see him. Everything he was doing was working. It weren't sort of his passing was much better, and his pressing yesterday was good as well. You know, so for me, an 80, lovely.
Okay. Yeah, Trap Show saw it the way I did, but
nice. Porto.
Wow. Porto, yeah, I saw that. Oh wow.
Is that correct? That the way he has that written, who's at home in that game?
I will tell you in a second.
Because I think when he did it
I
earlier on,
thought it was at Man. I thought it was at.
Yeah, because when he did it earlier on at 2-2, he had Man United 2, Porto 2. So now,
it is.
Now I think
Porto's home. Porto's at home.
Porto is at home. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it says it's at Porto, Portugal.
Cool.
3-2. 3-2.
Whoa.
Yeah. Samuel has just scored his second goal of the game.
I like Porto. Some of the players that have come out the last 20 years out of Porto is just ridiculous.
Yeah. Porto is one of the Porto, Benfica, even Sporting are all like definitely.
Oh, and Sporting. Oh yeah.
Yes, top teams in Portuguese league.
But if anybody remembers the Monaco Porto Champions League final, you know that Porto side was ridiculous. That was the Mourinho team.
Yeah, Mourinho years. Yep. I know. I hope that's why. I hope that he doesn't get sacked from this. There will definitely be calls if they lose to, and that shouldn't be, because Porto is a good team. I can understand maybe FC20, but Porto is a good team. It's not like you're playing and you're playing away. You finally got your striker back who scored in this game. Even Rashford scored in this game as well. So it is. Okay.
Oh, that's the guy. That's the guy, Sammy Amoradian, the guy that was going to go to Chelsea. And that it collapsed at the last minute. That's that guy. So Amoradian. Yeah. Okay.
He's got 2 goals. He's the one that just knotted it up and then now has the go ahead goal. So let's go into Lucho. Speaking of goal scorers, did not score in this game. I think this is probably not his best game.
Yeah.
But had one opportunity that I would have loved to have seen him take the shot. I don't know why he did not take the shot. Well, that's a good question too. I see your question, Dustin. Dustin's asking, should Dom be on pens? I would probably. We've had a show where we did a show back in, this is last year. We did a show about this is right when Mo was struggling a little bit on penalties. And we did a show of like who we would like, I think we tiered the players for as to who we want to see take penalties. Dom is in that list. He's certainly on the list of penalty takers, but I wouldn't put him at the top of the list. I wouldn't put him at like number 1 or number 2. I would have Maka probably at that spot. If Mo's not taking it, I would say Maka should be the one that steps up.
If you look at McAllister's record at Brighton, he is an elite penalty taker. So I think he is definitely second choice. There shouldn't be anybody else before him, not even Trent or anyone. I remember that because the Mo was having a bit of he missed 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's missed 2 last year. Yeah,
I think he missed 2 at the time. Yeah, and there was a big kind of think about it. Who should be on?
It cost us because it cost us games too, though.
Yeah. Oh no, and rightly so. But I was just saying, like, anybody that was kind of trying to argue, it was just like, seriously, just go and watch McAllister at Brighton. He's one of the best penalty takers in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So we have two. Like if Mo isn't taking him, we don't need to worry because we have McAllister and he's one of the best in the league.
Yep.
You know, so I was really happy with that. Dom, I'm sure, can strike a great ball, no doubt about it. He's a captain for Hungary, so he obviously has a strong mentality.
His record is really, really high when it comes to.
So that's great.
Conversion
but imagine, but that's just like you saying, well, look, the Dallas Cowboys have 3 of the best field goal kickers in the NFL. So one of the best in the NFL doesn't take field goals because only one guy does.
Right.
That's what I want.
We have some great.
We have
some great
3
options.
brilliant penalty takers. Yeah, 3 brilliant penalty takers. So for me, but McAllister is up there, and I'd like to give him more of a chance. And maybe, I think maybe Szoboszlai might be more of an option, say from the odd free kick or something. Because you know that Trent gets everything.
He does. He is an option that now lines up with Trent and Robbo.
Yeah, because I don't think
Robbo doesn't really get.
I don't know why he stands. I don't know why Robbo goes and stands around when they're talking about free kicks. Mm-hmm. It's such a like Robbo. Nobody's thinking you're going to take it, man. You're not fooling anybody. But yeah,
he must be in a conversation.
And then he runs away at the end, trying to feint. Haha, I'm not taking it. Nah, it's good fun.
A lot of 70s, 66 from Jimmy. Let's see, 71. Bernie gave him a 73, but to get the ball back.
I'll give him a 65.
Okay.
It's a bit of a quiet game.
Yeah.
60 for me.
Everyone's questioning your Dallas Cowboys. Nobody likes the Cowboys. You got to know that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, just
you gotta pick a better team.
I know. I was gonna say the fucking the other team that doesn't even exist anymore.
Oh, okay.
The Raiders. I was like, so yeah.
The Raiders exist.
Well, I mean the LA, right? Yeah, but I meant the LA. I would have said the LA.
They've been LA, they've been Oakland, they've been they've been all over. But now they're the Las Vegas Raiders.
And as we established last night, Oakland is a shithole.
Yeah. That's not from me. Town of Oakland. That is not from me. City of Oakland. It's not town. City of Oakland.
Kind of was.
No. I do have family live there, so I can't say that.
Oh, you can go back. Okay, you can go back. Don't worry. It wasn't okay. It was that was me. That was me.
Hylor gave a 70 for him. Okay, 70. What were you giving him, JK? What were you giving Lucho?
I'm going to give him a 60, bro, because I think 2 games in a row now, but it hasn't been really shining. What he did before, 5-5. Players have them up and down sort of games. So at the end of the day, he wasn't really needed yesterday because we won 2-0 anyway. So for me, it was a quiet game. So a 60.
Okay. I saw a lot of 70s, high 70s, 68 was like the lowest, I think, from the chat. So I know you guys gave him 2 low scores, but I'll try to, since there were so many.
Healer is saying there, right? McAllister is in fact better than Salah on pens stats wise, which I probably would have told you that myself at a guess. But Salah most probably has it in his contract that he is the penalty taker, and that's an interesting thing to me. I'm just wondering, if you get, say, your goal bonus is 25 grand a goal. Is a penalty still 25 grand? Do you think they have it like, okay, goals from open play is 25 grand, but if it's a penalty, you're only getting like 15? Do you think they change that in contracts, or just a goal is a goal?
Goal's
like,
a goal.
Want 50 grand. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting.
Goal's a goal.
That's interesting.
That's why sometimes a lot of those guys want those step one, like, you have like your Jackson's probably fighting for those reasons alone.
Like as someone pointed out to me, like, would you rather have a 50 grand goal bonus or a 100 grand win bonus? It's like you're better off having a 100 grand win bonus, because even if you don't score and the team wins,
there you go.
you get the bigger, like, and just take your 20 grand goal bonus instead of 50, instead of an 80 win bonus. Like, you're better off just because even if you don't fucking play, if you're on the bench, you come on for 2 minutes, you come on the pitch, there's your win bonus. So it's actually probably the strikers actually look, a little bit less. But I'm just wondering, if it was a strike, if it was a penalty, is that like half a goal when it comes to bonuses? But yeah, I'm sure. They're like, don't be coming at me with that. A goal to goal, because he won us the game with a penalty against Wolves. So
yeah, made a difference. Makes a difference. I mean, like I said, hey, penalties do make a difference.
Not to some people. Don't remember, he's trash. Out with the garbage on Monday morning. Get rid.
Yeah, Mr. Salah is up right now. What were we rating him? Let's begin with JK this time, and then we'll go to the Irishman. JK, what was your rating for Mo?
I'm going to give him a 90.
A 90?
Gotcha. Yeah, assist and a goal.
I don't think I've ever heard you say the word 90, JK.
Yeah, new day. But for me, I think he won the game for us on Saturday.
Yeah,
he won us the game yesterday. Like, you can't, what else can the guy do? So when I hear people moaning about him, I'm thinking, what chance have us guys got ever to be a professional footballer? We'll play one game, they'll be after us. The fans will be, you know what I mean? Like, this guy's winning us game after game, and he's getting hassled. I'm like, yo, some fans need to wake the fuck up, because it's like, that's just blindness, Like, come on, you cannot buy this type of guy. When you really think about it, you can't. Who are you going to buy to replace this guy? That's my biggest worry, his goals and assists. Who's going to keep up with that,
Yeah. How about for you, Irishman? Some interesting scores coming in so far.
You want to go with scores? You want to go chat scores?
Yeah. So far, it's like 70. Lee gave him a 70. Gave him 65 for his performance, and plus the goal made him a 70. I just asked Lee also if he wants to give some extra points, considering he had a goal and an assist.
Only 5 points for that goal. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice goal. It's a nice goal.
That goal was top. That was old school.
That was somewhat vintage Mohamed Salah. Actually.
Yeah, that's vintage.
Marion gave him 100, of course, because he's the king. Trap Joe gave him a 92.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Dustin gave him a no wait. That can't be. I want to make sure before I read that out loud. Are you sure about that, Dustin?
What's that?
That's a 50?
Huh?
That's interesting. If that's your score, maybe he missed something, missed a button or something. But I mean,
no, he
said yes, 50. Okay, got you.
Jimmy coming in low too. Jimmy's coming in low too.
Yeah, 70. I see that from Jimmy. Bernie gave him a 90 for his results. Nolante gave him 83. Yeah. Yeah, let's hear your score. I was waiting to see if someone else had a score. So let's hear your score then.
What?
We got a 90 from JK, which is a rarity. So now,
yeah. Well, I know sometimes a lot of but sometimes some of the boys that aren't busy doing other streams are listening in the background or whatever.
Yes.
If ends or UFO ends or it just happens to be, I've got a collection day tomorrow, so I just want to know which color bin I'm supposed to put Salah in. Does he go in the blue bin, or the green bin, or the brown bin? Because I've got all three. Which one is he supposed to go in? Because this guy's going out with the trash. This is all I know. This is all I hear. Yeah, exactly, JK. Yeah, look, I mean, it's all about is it all Jake and said earlier on. He's a great content creator, and he's a very, very intelligent guy, and he's also very tactically aware, and he knows his football basically. And he makes the point where is it performances? Is that all, or is it all that matters is XA or GA? And I think right now we're in a position where this guy is. I don't think he's that bad. Where we need to be talking
Mhm.
about Jesus. Did you see how? I mean, and he somehow stumbled into the ball, and
Mhm.
backheeled it off his arse into the, he's scoring proper goals. He's making contributions. What's
Mhm.
going on here? I'm right now. I'm fine with that because I don't really know what the option is
Mhm.
behind him. Like, is he the absolute best Salah we've ever seen? No. Is he the same guy?
I mean, there
that
were
was,
times.
There's no.
Yeah.
But
There
he's
were
making
times
like I said, he's
when he
making the
does.
difference in games.
Yep.
He's getting older. He's slowing down. He's not as lightning as he used to be, and we don't play the same the same way. But I mean, he's a right winger who is putting up numbers that would be probably comparable to the very best most seasons right now. And just in terms of now, if that leads to us winning a title, then we can ask that question, right? Okay, so if he plays badly, as it were, continues to play the way he's playing right now, but continues to put up the numbers that he's putting up right now, and at the end of the season we have a league title. I mean, it's one of those it's one of those arguments for the whatever type of arguments you want to call it. Is that enough? Well, it is enough if you win the league. If he stays, what does Mo do? He stays fit, right? So if he's tracking these numbers for the rest of the season, what's he going to do? He's going to do ridiculous numbers.
He's got six out
He's
of
not even playing well.
assists. Salah has provided date, including double figures. He has double figures in assists in 6 out of the 7 campaigns for the Champions League. That's pretty impressive.
I mean,
That's pretty impressive.
maybe. And look, I will say, look, I know for a fact that Enzo knows a shitload more about football than I do when it comes to tactics and coaching and all of that stuff. I tell you that for a fact he does. So maybe there's something I'm missing, but what I would also say is we could bring in somebody else who plays better, looks better, not, I'm going to say on the eye, but might look better statistically. But this guy just bangs in goals. So right now, with a new coach, a new-ish type team, and a new, there's, this kind of the consistency of having some guy just sits in your team and shows up week in, week out, in terms of us transitioning to a new era is pivotal. It's just, okay, he doesn't have to be what he was 5 years ago for me. But right now, if we brought, like I said at the start of the season, if we brought in a new guy that was putting up Salah numbers, we'd all be sitting here going, what a player we've got. Okay, he hasn't been amazing every game, but look at what he's doing. What a player we've got.
Yeah, I
So,
understand that.
sorry, yeah. So I'll
Did
give
you
him an
know?
85.
Did you know that he has
I'll give him an 85.
Did you know that he has the most? Here's something that you might not know, but Mohamed Salah has the most Champions League goals for an English club. I didn't know that, but that's pretty impressive. He has 42 goals in Champions League. 42 goals.
I told you, man. He has more individual records than most people have fucking hot dinners.
Actually, too, you know what? His that hat trick that we spoke of about the hat trick that he scored against the Rangers, that is the fastest hat trick in Champions League history.
Yeah,
he holds the record for the quickest Champions League hat trick by a substitute. Excuse me.
He's going to have his own section in the Guinness Book of Records.
You know what I mean? Like, what can this guy not do? It's like every game there's a new record or there's a new stat that comes out. And wow, and it's like when I hear any Liverpool player sort of moaning about this guy, like for me, football is when you see a guy, a guy who just gets the ball, keeps on running with it, beats his men, but maybe not do anything with it. For example, that's what football fans want to see: a guy beat 3 mans. Like Salah is not going to beat 3 mans. He might do. You don't know, but at the end of the day, he's getting you 3 points. So what the hell is what you're moaning about? You know, the
Mhm.
guy does his job, win games for Liverpool. No one else can do that for us, bar him. Really, when you really look at it,
Yeah.
like he's consistent. So that.
Mhm. Do you know that Salah has a better goal ratio per game than Ian Rush and Owen and Fowler? Yeah, I would certainly guess that he has. He's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put another stat here. He's the first Liverpool player to score in 5 consecutive Champions League games, which I reported earlier, or said earlier at least, and has become the first player to score and assist in 9 Champions League games for an English club. This man is an absolute legend. And we're watching a legend. Absolutely watching a legend. We have to wait for his career to end. Yeah, we have to wait for his career to end. This is a Liverpool legend.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. He's a living, as I call it, a living that. He's doing it right
Living
now.
legend.
He's still adding. And I said this from day one. Even if he is leaving, and even if he knows he's leaving, or even if he wants to leave at the end of the season, he has no intention of going out on anything other than a complete high. Like, he's not sitting there hanging back, oh, I have a bit of a sore back this week. I don't want to play because, I've got a bit of an old contract coming up next year. I want to. No, he's going to go out there. He's going to go hell for leather. He's going to try and get as many goals as he possibly can, break all these records that are still there for him. I don't know if he's he might be one of those guys, like we all know Ronaldo is, right? Ronaldo would know that he has all these things that he might be able to do. He'll have someone telling him, you only need 2 more in this. Like, Mo might be one of those guys who finds out when we find out. He might have no idea. Or he might be one of those guys that knows that I only need this and then that, I need that, and then I'll be the top in this and top in that. But I didn't ever think he was going to go on anything other than like
this
full
level,
maximum overdrive. He was just going to go. He was like, if he is leaving, if this is his last year, he's going to go out trying to make it one of his best years, and he's already on track for this. Like, seriously, I mean, it will. These people, not these people, but people who want him gone. Okay, great, but he's not leaving this season. So we're top of the league. We've won pretty much everything but one game. Let's just chill and let's just say, okay, look, when this guy is gone, you can say in his last year, he lost a bit of his edge, but he still put up unbelievable numbers. Like, unless he's being actively, demonstrably, and objectively detrimental to this team's performance whilst not contributing, what's the reason to take him out of this team? He's in this team every single week. We're winning games. We're keeping clean sheets. He's scoring goals and getting assists. But he's not what? What isn't that he isn't? Like, what is it that he needs to be that's like, oh, now he can play? Because right now, football, you're never going to get life perfect. You're never going to get everything the way you want it. So right now, why are you going looking for problems? Like, to me, going at Mo right now is just looking for problems where none exist. It's just weird,
Let me say this. So we're gonna have one more player that we have. We have Dom. We have Darwin up next, and then when we get to subs, I'm not going to include. I think who played in the lane here. I'm not going to include Bradley, and I'm not going to include Curtis Jones because they got subbed in at the 85th minute or 86th minute.
Yeah, no point. Yeah,
85th and 86th minute. So I'm not going to include them. So I'm only going to include the 3 subs that got actual minutes, which is Diego, Stimicast, and Cody. And I'll just say for the subs, each one of us will take. I'll just ask one of you for a rating.
Yeah.
And include it with the chat for the subs. But for Dom, what was Dom's rating for you? Let's get Dom or Dom. Said Dom again. Darwin, excuse me. What was Darwin's rating?
I'm going to give him a 65. I think you could just tell he wasn't fully well. Like, he was ill, wasn't he? Normally, when you're not well or you got the flu or whatever, 2 days later you can't really be fit for a Champions League game. That's my opinion. So for me, he wasn't there 100%. He wasn't really needed, but I feel he did okay what he needed to do, you know. So for me, a 60, 65. Let's go 60, yeah.
Okay. How about for you, Brian?
Yeah, brilliant finish. You know, it looked like we were. Yeah, that would have been a brilliant goal.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, he wasn't a mile offside. He wasn't an inch offside, but he was off. You know, but that was such a beautiful move. But the finish was like that. Again, it just shows you that this guy can finish under pressure. He can do that. That's why you bought him. You know. Red for life is saying there, like you were saying last night, Trent delayed that pass, but we're talking milliseconds here either way. You know, we're not talking about 30 seconds. We're talking about the width of a whatever. You know, it's I don't know. Look, I don't know. I thought he looked nervous when the boards were going up. He knew he was coming off. Look, just a little bit of a missed opportunity. If that had been onside and he'd scored it, like we were talking about confidence earlier on. I mean, you can't get more confident than that, but like we were talking about when we were watching it, he'll score that, but he'll miss his happening. So we just don't know. We really don't. And he goes off. I can't give more than 60, but yeah, I just can't. Yeah, Marianne in with the 100. We know.
I know. Bring it. I was gonna say, Marianne. I was waiting. I wasn't gonna include the chats until Marianne got.
No, we know, Marianne. Look,
we can boost the score a little bit. Big up.
Yeah,
man.
no,
big up.
Don't worry, Marianne. We ought, to be honest, even if Marianne doesn't vote, we automatically include her 100 in the Darwin voting at this stage. So.
So 65 from Jimmy, 60 from Bernie, 60 from Red for Life, 60 from Lee. A lot of 60s. So I was trying to pull down this rating. 69 from Trap Joe. I thought he had a decent game. He didn't have a great game, but he had a decent game. It wasn't phenomenal. But I'm gonna stick with 70s. Oh, 70, I guess, is decent. 69, 70. It's like around 65 to 70 were basically the scores. A couple 60s in there. Maybe I'll go 60. I'll go 68.
Yeah, I don't think you can start that with a 7. To be honest, most people said somewhere in the 60 to 65.
Yeah, I'll do a 60.
I mean,
big up KJ with the 80. I like it. We didn't, and Slot actually addressed that too. By the way. He doesn't like to try to pinpoint or take people and hold him spotlight people in the individual case, but he did speak on Darwin. He did say the fact that he wasn't getting that many chances, and the team wasn't targeting him enough. Again, it's something that I've commented on. Our strikers, whether it's Diego or Darwin, aren't getting the amount of touches that I think they deserve. Personally, I don't think they are. And I don't think that they're getting the kind of touches I would like to see them get, which is like the through balls and just running on to passes.
You can't say that because, he can't say that because, okay, look, you make good runs. You make good movement, people will pass you the ball, right? If you stand around and do nothing, you won't get the ball, right? So that's another thing, and maybe saying that. But like we were saying last night, we've got a goal scorer on the left, Gakpo, and a goal scorer on the right, Salah. You know? I think we don't have people that are, like you could see, like JK was saying earlier on, Salah was actively trying to look for Darwin, trying to pass the ball, and trying to be a bit of a creator earlier on. You know, so I think until you address perhaps that issue in terms of like the profile of player that we have up front, because their first thought is to get in space and shoot, not in get in space and then pass to Darwin, or not pass to Darwin, pass to a number 9, you know? So I think Slot is saying, I think he knows what he's saying. He doesn't have the right players to feed a striker. He has two strikers playing wide that want to feed themselves. So I think he has work to do there, whether it be Dom or whether it be a Mac. So I don't know who he's. That's probably a thing that he's having an undercover comment at. Basically, you know, he wants a different stuff. Like, it's fair enough. Yeah, you can't expect Darwin to score goals when he gets 14 touches,
Right.
off passes. Okay.
Yeah.
But
It's
we have
why-
a Mo and a
it's
Gakpo.
why
What are they
you'll-
going to do?
It's why you'll see him end up taking shots like that one shot that he ended up taking where he did miss. He did miss. It was a shot that went over the bar. And I thought that was probably a shot where he's thinking like, I just got to get these shots in, basically.
Yeah,
That's
'cause
what
he
kind of
hasn't-
that seemed like, at least.
He hasn't had a touch of the ball in 8 minutes. The first time someone's passed him the ball in like 25 passes. Yeah, it's just like bang, he's going to hit it. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
You know, that can't work. That need, but like you said, like we said last night, if Gakpo, Diaz, or Mo they cut in, their first thought is to go and get a goal, finish it.
Yeah, they're not passing it.
So, yeah, they're not passing it.
What about? So we're gonna get to subs. I'll go first. Then I'll give you. Then let's go. You guys get them. I'll go Irishman, and then I'll go to JK. I'm gonna rate. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Go to the next tab. I'm gonna rate Diego. What are you guys going to rate Diego in the chat? Your ratings still apply. We're just going to do one. We're just each going to get our own individual rating. We're not going to go through the entire panel for the subs. I gave Diego a 70 for the game. But what was your ratings in the chat, real quick? What was your ratings in the chat? Make sure that you guys get them in for Diego. And then we will move on because Diego had a decent game. I thought he had a decent game in coming off the bench. I know that often we're going to just probably hold him to the standards of what we saw from Darwin, but I'll bring up some stats for him real quick while I wait for, unless you guys are cool with the 70, I'll just go with the 70 if no one's got any. Okay, Diego, yeah, proper baller, 70 from Dustin. Apparently gave the call for Diego. Oh gosh, I got that. I didn't see that. I'll have to watch the game a third time. Actually, I did not see that. You guys saw that from Hyder. He's saying, did you notice that early in the second half, Nunez failed to read a pass into feet, and that was it for Arnie? Slot the ball through his arms up, turned around, and gave the call for Diego. I did not see that.
That's why he was looking sheepish at the camera.
Yeah,
That's what they kept pointing the camera. Nunez looked like he was about to get a call for the doctor, going to get his diagnosis. He did not want to go.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I don't want to see my number coming up. He knew he was
yeah.
off.
He knows. Yeah, he knows. He knew.
But we all knew he was
It's
off.
weird, but I mean, like as much as I'm sure everybody wants to play the full 90. Get out of here, Hyler. Did Bruno just get a red card?
No, but dude, even if he'd scored 2 goals, he would have been taken off on 60. We knew people were getting coming. Like, that's his slot now. He's going to take off 3 guys.
Yeah.
To keep you fresh or do whatever. I think even that. But
No, for me,
I
he
don't
wasn't well. He wasn't well enough to play full 90 minutes. You know what I mean? No matter how much he wanted to play. At least, Slot, what he does well, sort of, is sort of brings players on and off.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's kept the same team all season, but he's so, like in what happened from the Forest game onwards. Since the Forest game, he's sort of the games ever since he's had he's changed it a few times. You know, he hasn't kept the same 11.
I agree.
So for me, people like Darwin, Yotta, I think Salah's the only guy who can do a full 90 all the time. He's always taken these guys off. You know why? Job's done. Take him off.
He's taking Salah off too, by the way.
he's taking Trent off a lot.
Taking Trent off a lot.
You know what I'm saying? So why? Because Trent got injured quite a lot last season. You know.
This is true. Very true.
And for me, it's a good thing because I think Virgil's the only guy, or McAllister are the only two guys who need a rest.
Mhm.
You know, but everyone else is sort of getting rest here and there. Like Diaz didn't play against West Ham, so he got his rest there. You know what I mean? Came back for the Wolves game. Gapco hasn't been starting a lot of games, but like Slot's sort of giving the guys time to come off after the job's done. I think that's important. You know,
Mhm.
if the job's done, bring off the players, let them rest, and on to the next game. I know every player wants to play 90 minutes. It's just the way football is. You know, sometimes you just don't want to go off in that. I think if the players are enjoying it and we're 5-0, 6-0 up, leave them on, you know. They can get another couple of goals each or whatever it is. If the game's in that sort of gear, you know, where we're hammering a team. But if it's a fierce sort of game, we're 1-0 up, 2-0 up, then yeah, bring these guys off, you know.
Yeah. Well, Simicast, what was Simicast's score for you, JK?
Me, I'll give him a 65. He did 1 or 2 interceptions, you know. He gets stuck in this Simicast, you know. He don't like be a chicken or nothing, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. Looks like everyone gave him. I'll do a 63 because everyone in the chat's giving them 60s basically. Let's give him. How about for Brian? How about for Cody? That's our last player to rate, and you have the honor. Cody, for you. Oh. You there, Irishman? Or am I muted?
No, you're cool, bro.
I'm good. Okay, I just make sure.
Yeah, you're good.
I think we lost the Irishman.
He'll come back in a second. Watch.
Yeah. I originally had him at 68, but I'm looking to see 60. Yeah, he's gonna log in and log out.
Gapco, he did okay. Gapco what I like about Gapco this season is he's always ready, and it's the same sort of energy now, consistent energy, where he's playing well. It's not like he can't get his first touch right. Every game he comes on, or every game he started, he's been to that level since the Euros. I don't know what's happened to him, but praise the Lord, you know.
Yeah,
Like he's only for me the best I've seen of Gapco. This is probably the best he's been in his whole life, you know. Hence why I wouldn't mind starting him against Palace even.
Cody. Yes. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, because of I wouldn't like Diaz has had 2 sort of mediocre type of games. So for me, I wouldn't mind playing Gapco. Bring Diaz on second half if needed, you know, 20, 25 minutes left or whatever it is. But let's start Gapco, I think.
Mm-hmm. Stick with Cody. 60. Let's see. 60, 55. Okay. I thought I was being, I thought I was being conservative with my 68. What was the score you gave him again?
I gave him 65.
Okay. But everyone's giving 60s. I got to go. I'm going to have to bump him down to a 62. Yeah, Dara, that could be the case with Diaz. I mean, that's the thing about having a strong backup. This is JK just mentioned about Cody. You know, let's balance this out. You know, let's balance out their starts, balance out their minutes, and you know, try to manage their minutes properly so that we don't have players looking like they're fatigued out there when they shouldn't be, considering that we have very viable options to play and give them a rest. So. Well, this brings us up to Arnie, and then we're going to get into the man of the match. So please keep in mind what you guys want to get for the man of the match. This one's for Arnie. What was your rating for Arnie Slot? What was your rating for Arnie?
First Champions League game at home at Anfield. Kept a clean sheet, won with 2 goals. I'm going to give him a 75.
Okay.
It wasn't a great display by us, hence that's the only reason why it's a 75. But we got the win. We kept a clean sheet. So there are 2 good factors for him to get 75.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and Hyler, I've tried to mention that too. He says he's told us a couple of times already. We don't mind you telling us again, Hyler. But Slot started a special program when he arrived at Liverpool to prevent injuries. He knows they are tracking stats to compare for each player. Certainly. I know they already had something slightly similar to what with Klopp, but certainly the medical team and the program that they're using is certainly something that I hope prevents the number of injuries that we had last year.
We need to get Hyler on the Prestero, bro. You know.
Yeah. He can tell us the stats in person.
It'd be good to hear him, see what he says and stuff. Nice with the facts, bro. I like it.
Yeah. We definitely will do call-ins too, so you can always call in too. Slot got 75 from Jimmy, 60 from Hylor, 85 from Trap Joe, 78 from Bernie. Gave him a 75. I think at 80s, right about. That's 75 from KJ.
First game at home at Anfield.
Yeah. A lot of pressure.
Yeah, a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure. I would have liked to have seen him to rotate the lineup a little bit more, but it's all good.
Okay.
Maybe we wouldn't be maybe talking about the fatigue of some players right now. Red for Life gave him 80, 75 from Milante. So yeah, around 75, 80. I almost want to give him a 77 now because of what I'm seeing. I'll give him a 77. I think that's what I was going to give him originally. Now it's man of the match time, people. Man of the match time.
Mm-hmm. We need a little bit of music now.
Yeah, we do need some music. We gotta have some music for that. I'll look into that. Sometimes Brian will have the drum.
A little bit of beatbox.
Yeah. Who is your man of the match? Just put the name of the player that you have as your man of the match in the chat. Tell us who you are. I think the three strongest candidates so far from the ratings I've seen have to either be Gravenberg or I would say Maka, Grava,
Salah.
or Salah or Mo.
And you know what?
I have Maka too, Bernie. I have Maka too. That's who my vote goes to.
I'm not choosing any of them.
You can say someone else. Yeah, Dustin said he gave it to Virgil. Dustin gave it to Virgil.
For me, it's the Botsalai.
Oh wow, I wasn't expecting that.
You know, because it was just his energy yesterday. For some reason, I just felt like he was on point of his game. I just feel, when a guy's not playing well himself, you don't need to go on social media to read comments from fans like what they think of him. He knows before us he's been playing not good. Yeah. So for me, yesterday he just looked better all round. Gravenberch was great second half, not great in the first half. Salah got us a goal and assist to win us the game. But I just feel Sabotsalah yesterday, I give him the man of the match just to give him some confidence in his game. It was good to see the way he played yesterday.
Cool. Yeah. Looks like. All right, so let's try to help me tally this up. All right, so we have one from Gravenberg. From Red Armchair Supporter gave it to Grava. Trap Joe gave his vote for Salah or Maka. You got to pick one, Trap Joe.
Virgil got one.
Virgil from Dustin. We have Maka from Bernie. Gravenberg from Red for Life. So what is that? 2 for Grava, 2 for Maka, or 1.5 for Maka, I guess. After Salah. Let's see. Looking for any more. Nalante gave it to Grava. That's 3 for Grava. Trap just solidified and said Mo then. Okay. I would like to know who Marion's man of the match is. Oh, Ryan. Okay. All right. Grava can do no wrong, people. He can do no wrong. He is the man.
The only reason I didn't give it him is because the first half he was non-existent, bro. Like second half, totally different ball game and stuff. But I just think the first half he was sort of not going full pelt. He was going like second gear. You know, he was just sort of chilling and just playing his game, not going in too much. But second half, much better display. Where Sabotslai throughout the game, he was sort of the same energy. Hence why I gave it him.
Okay. We have the Irishman back. Hopefully he can hear us. Can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't used my mobile data. Thing has gone dead.
No worries.
Internet just disappeared.
We're at man of the match for you. I don't want to take too many of your minutes up. So man of the match. Who is your man of the match? Yeah, just so you can get your vote in at least. I think I know who's winning this by the tally, but just so you can get your.
Oh well, I don't know. So, I don't know what other people are voting for. So I'll say Mo Salah.
This is your vote. Yeah, this Mo Salah.
Okay. Yeah.
You got Mo Salah. I don't know if Salah got a vote. I think you're the only. Oh no, Trap Joe gave him a vote when we pushed him to pick a person. Hi, Lord, with the Dom vote. Good for you guys. Good for you.
I did give Salah the highest sort of rating and stuff, but I just felt that's just like a standard game for Salah. Goal and assist.
Hang on. My internet just came back. I'm going to drop out and I'll be back in a second. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I think I had, and that's a shame. I had a picture loaded up for you. I know Marion didn't like Macca's smile in the picture, so I had a picture all ready for his man of the match in case we did pick him as man of the match. But it doesn't look like you guys are on the same wavelength as me and Bernie, so it's all good. I will announce the man of the match by the votes tallied. It's going to be, let me see if I can get this thing to turn. Ryan Gravenberg. He ended up getting the most votes out of anyone in this.
Okay.
From
we
the
did
chat.
say it before. We did say it before. He shows up and just gets the man of the match award before he even plays. So.
Yeah. I will admit this.
Why am I surprised?
Why be surprised? Gravenberg is now also player of the month for something that. Yeah.
I mean, come on,
But
he kind of opened the game up, and then
September's man of the month for us. The standard chartered September man of the month, player of the month is Gravenberg as well. Ryan has won this award, something that I'm sure he hopes to win again. And it's an accomplishment, a major accomplishment, because some people might call that a popularity contest a little bit, somewhat, when it comes to getting the standard chartered award, but it's an accomplishment all the same. So congratulations to Ryan on getting this award as well. Yeah, Macca with Nunez a close second. Oh, okay. See, Dar, is he gonna vote now? I think Ryan still had us beat, even with 3 votes.
Come on,
still had us beat, even with 3 votes. So it's all good. Congratulations to Ryan. We have a preview to do for tomorrow. Since Saturday is a 12:30 game, we are not going to be doing a roll call for that game because that's just it ends up being way too early in the morning for me. I don't think you guys want to see me do the broadcast from my bed. Basically, that's probably where I will be.
You know what I mean?
I'll do it. I'll set up a show and I'll do a roll call. Set it up.
Okay.
I'll do it.
That'd be cool.
So that's cool.
I'll join you, Brian.
No worries. We'll be doing a roll call.
We'll hold it there. We'll hold it there. It'll be a disaster.
Sounds good. You'll see. I'll tune in, but I'll have my avatar. So we'll have to find someone that's gonna be.
12's gonna have a go at us. When we're doing the show, bro. 12's gonna be like, "What are these two guys on about?" Yeah. They don't know what they're on about.
Yeah. Yeah, Trap Joe. It will be tough for you, I'm sure. Trap Joe's on the same in the same time zone as me right now.
Oh, okay. He's up there, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a 4:30 in the morning
Ooh.
start. What time is it? Yeah, 4:30 a.m. is the time our the Crystal Palace game will start for us on the West Coast. It is not easy. It is not easy.
Yeah.
But it is all worth it. As long as we get the victory, it's all worth it. So, what's that?
We're getting the victory.
Definitely getting the victory.
4-1.
Let's do it. Let's put it in. Let's put it out there. Let's put it out there. Also, it'll be international break after that game, so we have some shows lined up for after the for after that Saturday matchup. We'll do a review on Sunday, but then come Monday through the week, we'll have some really cool shows lined up for you that hopefully you'll partake in. A couple shows, just the ranking shows. We also will have we'll also be doing a Survivor Series update. We're going to do a Survivor Series update after the Crystal Palace matchup, by the way. And should be fun times as always. As always, is there? Do you have anything that you want to say to the people before we allow for them to enjoy the rest of their Thursday as we come up on the 2.5 hour mark here?
I have a pop quiz trivia. Who won the first Champions League? It became the Champions League in 1992. Who won the
1992, exactly. Yep.
Who won the first one? Who won the first Champions League?
Okay.
Yeah, Ajax. That's a joke. That's a guess. Excuse me.
AC Milan.
AC Milan's a good shout. Marseille.
Marseille. Marseille.
Yeah, the two boys. Okay.
I was about to say Marseille. Yeah.
Bonus points.
Papa.
Why was that controversial?
Ooh.
What bonus points? Why was it controversial that they won that Champions League?
Trap Joe, there's going to be KJ saying because of match fixing.
Yeah. I'll give it to KJ. They were Bernard Tapie, he went to prison. They were found guilty of match fixing the league, in French players, or in the French league, and they had won that league, and that was stripped, and they were demoted, and but they were allowed to keep the Champions League win because they'd only been convicted or proved to have match fixed in I think it was the second last game, and KJ is right there. They approached 3 players from I can't remember, something like it was a smaller French cup that they were about to play. 2 of the players accepted the bribe to throw the game, but one of them said, "Hell no! I just told everybody." Basically, he's kind of fucked it up. So the whole thing came out. So they were stripped of their league title, but they were controversial, and the owner went to prison and shit. But they were allowed to keep their Champions League, so that wasn't stripped. That was very, very controversial. But that's Marseille. They're a crazy club, man.
Oh, wow.
Crazy club.
Did he get
Deschamps was there?
Yeah. Did he get a ban as well? Yeah. He got a ban as well. That's crazy.
Papin used to play for them, I think.
Yeah, Jean-Pierre Papin went to Milan from Marseille, I believe, and he became when he went there, he became the most expensive player in the world. When he did that, it was broken very quickly afterwards. But Papin,
I wonder if he got stitches.
Yeah, no, this guy came out and said, "I ain't throwing the game." I mean, the other 2 guys have just decided to take money and get a bribe. He's like, "I'm not doing that." And then he just came out and basically said, "Hey, they just offered me 10 grand to throw the game, and the other 2 guys have taken it." He's like, "I'm not throwing."
That's incredible too. I mean, $10,000 is a different setting in 1992. I get that, but
it's for nothing. But these guys, this would have been the same.
That is not worth possibly going to jail for possibly ruin, like, not only going to jail, but like ending your career.
But these guys would have been. It would have been like they weren't like say Spurs or something. They would have been like a Sheffield United or a Burnley. Like they're one of the smallest teams. They should have been just able to beat them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't need to do this, but it's amazing. People ended up in prison. Marseille is still the biggest club in France. They're bigger than PSG in all the metrics and stuff. They're huge. Like that's like Man United doing that. But yeah, like I said, that's one of the best places you can probably go and watch a game. Edgy.
Okay.
A real edgy place. And they bought a couple of wrong-uns this season. They've got Mason Greenwood. They've got a couple of dodgy footballers there.
Dabbling in some controversy when it comes
to they brought in a guy that just killed somebody in a car crash 2 years ago. They brought in Mason Greenwood. They brought in another guy who's just been accused of the old you-know-what. And so... Yeah, but the mayor came out against it, but it was great. That was a great time for French football at Marseille, but then they go out and kind of mess it all up by getting caught for trying to throw like a crappy little game that they should easily have been able to win. They weren't trying to bribe, these players. Yeah, Al Wahi made players strip. Yeah, don't KJ. I'll tell the lads about that behind closed door. Backstage.
I don't have to know about that.
Yeah, that is a very
I do
weird
not have to know about that story.
Guy.
Big up to everyone joining us. I saw our numbers have definitely just spiked once again. Big up to everyone that is joining us again. Big up to Norm that just tuned in.
Norm.
Yeah.
I think there was a couple other names, maybe.
Yeah, hit like, by the way, if you haven't hit like on the way in or the way out.
Appreciate it.
Now, but try and get a good
you
number on that, mate.
If you have to pick one or the other, please pick like rather than dislike. And I got the pictures for our picture or the teams remaining. So far that is Bologna off the list as a home match. That is also AC Milan off the list for an away match. It leaves us with Leo, who did play well. Obviously, they beat Real Madrid at home. Leverkusen, Real Madrid at home. And we have away fixtures at Leipzig. We have an away fixture at PSV and Girona.
Leipzig lost 3-2 yesterday. They were playing 10 minutes.
That was a shame. Leipzig should have won that game.
They should have.
Yeah, they should have won the game. They were winning it. They were winning it towards the end, and then kind of just bottled it.
It's a nice stadium, though.
Oh, very beautiful stadium. Very beautiful.
Yeah, I watched Liverpool.
Actually, it's a huge stadium too. By the way,
it's massive.
I was like, wow, this thing's that's a massive stadium.
And the people who work there, really nice. Like like this people who work in the shop and like just general, like, oh, where's this, where's that? Real nice,
Fake club though.
It is a big club.
No, fake club. Fake club.
No, but it's a big club, bro. Because like, if you want to see the fans, like the size of the stadium, but for me, it's a club. Like Leipzig is a sort of, I wouldn't say it's a massive city, but it's a city, and every city needs a football team. Thing is, they just got associated with Red Bull. It sort of helped them along, because the name Red Bull Leipzig. So.
Oh yeah. But
so they just did it for their own benefit in that way. So why not?
Yeah, they benefited definitely. Red Bull is definitely one of the reasons why Red Bull got into football.
Well, no, they did. They took over another team. They Red Bull. There was no Leipzig. They took over another team that already existed, and then they basically dissolved that team because they'd lost their license because you couldn't buy in, you couldn't be owned by a corporation and buy into the top league. So they basically went through. They took over a club. They dissolved it, then renamed it. They wanted to call it. They're not allowed to call it FC. They have to call it Rasenball, which means lawn ball. That's what it's. RB. It's Rasenball. So they have
Mhm.
to call themselves like an athletic club. They have to jump through all these hoops. So yeah, the people that used to support the other club, like they all hate them. Everyone in Germany hates Leipzig. They are like JK. They are hated, like because they seem as like a fake kind of
Mhm.
money club kind of thing. But
Yeah.
they do. It's not like they turn up and like they actually do a really fucking good job of bringing to like really good young players who they then allow to go on to other clubs and all that. So I'm
Yeah.
sure, yeah, for in 20 years' time, nobody at Leipzig is really going to care. But yeah, that's the one thing about them is look at the players that they've sold,
Yeah.
even from Salzburg, not just from RB Leipzig, just from RB Salzburg as well. The people that come through, Mane's come through there, Minamino's come through there.
Mhm.
You know,
Szoboszlai and Kiarte.
Upamecano, Ibu, people
Right.
like that.
We've given them a lot of money, like nearly
Yeah,
160 million.
Yeah.
We spent
Yeah.
big
yeah,
with them. Kiarte 65, Szoboszlai 70.
Yeah. We've
Kunate was about 40, wasn't
RB makes good money off of us for sure.
he? Yeah, for sure. So in
they're
that way,
like
they're
our
really
kind of
good.
European Southampton, really, aren't they? They're kind of like our European version of Southampton.
I would say.
It's a good shout. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, we got Lallana, Virgil,
Yeah.
Lovren,
Ox.
VVD, or I said Virgil twice. Oxlade Chamberlain. Well, yeah.
Via
Um,
Arsenal. Yeah.
who else? We got Ricky Lambert. Said him. We bought someone else from
Gosh, don't remind us of
Southampton.
that one.
Mane and Klein. Mane and Klein
That's
we
about
got from Southampton.
yeah,
Yeah.
fine. But yeah.
For me, Mane and Virgil, the best buys from there. Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah, Jesus yeah.
Yeah.
Even when you combine all the others together and multiply them by 2, Mane and Virgil is still like
Still, you know that
the only
question
one would be
earlier.
Lallana. Lallana be the only one who I
Mm.
put in the kind of could stand in the goodbye. Lambert shite. Klein good for about 2 years, then fell
Yeah.
off. Lovren
Yeah.
never rated him.
No, me. But for me,
Yeah.
Mane was there was a question earlier about the surprise player who surprised you the most, and that I think Mane as well. You know, he surprised me. I didn't know he was that good.
Mm. Mm.
So
yeah. So again, we will be
Yeah,
live
I'd agree
tomorrow.
with that. I didn't think he was that good. I'd agree with that.
We'll be live tomorrow, and definitely we'll have a bunch to talk about. But we'll also do, well, we'll figure it out because we're gonna do because like as Brian just said, there's and I don't know if JK will be a part with them or not, but like hopefully he is. We'll do a roll call. Again, I'll be most likely. I'll try to get up. Maybe I can get myself a cup of coffee.
it'll be
or
like
something.
11:30 UK time, yeah, or
Yeah.
quarter past 11, yeah, quarter past 11.
But yeah, because that means that means it'll be 3:30. The game starts at 4:30 for me, so we'd have to do at least 3:30 in the morning for me. Jeez.
Yeah.
We'll see, people. I'll try my best. But big up to each and every one of you guys. Oh, I wanted to also say happy birthday to Ali and also happy birthday to Bobby as well. That was her birthday yesterday. I don't know how. Bobby's one of my favorite players. I don't know how. I definitely said it on Twitter or X, but I didn't say it live. So I wanted to make my amends by making sure to say that. I just got reminded in my head from the fact that it was both their birthdays yesterday. Kind of interesting that Ali and Bobby, both two of our Brazilian players, were have the same birthday, a year apart, but still were both born on October 2nd. So it's kind of interesting.
Man,
but
happy birthday to them too.
Yeah, big up.
Good human beings as well. Yeah.
What does that make him, JK? October
They
2nd. What does that make him?
Libras.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, he was, Norm. Definitely. Daniel Sturridge was one of the most talented. Just if it wasn't for injuries,
Sturridge, one of my
Sturridge
favorite
would be possibly mentioned in.
Oh, we were talking about him last night, weren't we? We were talking about him for a while.
He'd be in the greats for sure. Yeah, I still
just liked him. Yeah.
That Sturridge and Suarez season where they're just trying to outdo each other for goal of the month. golden age
I
style.
was at Anfield and for a lot of them games that season. Yeah,
Oh man,
like
you
when I
must have
seen them
some
two
fucking
just playing,
crackers.
it was like, yo, it was good. I think they kept like Rodgers sort of in the limelight. I think if we didn't have Suarez, for example, no matter how good Gerrard is, I don't think he needed Suarez to show how good Gerrard is. You know, like Gerrard always needs like a world class player with him. He
Mhm.
can't really play with players who are not that good because they ain't going to really make him shine.
Yeah.
Gerrard needs a top players. Like Gerrard could have played for any club in the world, you know. It was weird going back quickly. It was only Chelsea sort of who paid interest in him. Like we weren't no Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. You know what we want Gerrard. It was just sort of Chelsea, wasn't it?
I think Real had a look, but they were everybody just kind of assumed that he wouldn't leave
England, yeah.
that
Or
kind or
Liverpool,
leave Liverpool, yeah. But
Mhm.
Real definitely tried, but yeah, that was a weird time when, I mean, of all the clubs, Stevie, of all the fucking clubs, man, come on. You know, I would be, if he had left for Real, I'd be okay. You know, okay, I can take it. You know, I know what the reality is. You know, but to go to fucking Chelsea,
No way.
yeah.
That's why for me when Torres left, if you went back to Spain and ended up going to Real Madrid, for example, or Barca, but for me, him going to Chelsea hurt a lot. You know what I mean? It just showed me that at that time we were below them. Like we were offering them our best player, like our best striker, and you're giving it to another English club. If you want to be a big club in England, you don't sell to other big clubs in England. That's why Arsenal did it to Man City. They gave them every player, you know. Remember Nasri, everyone. So for me, Arsenal at that time showed themselves they're weak. You know, you don't just sell your best players to Manchester like from Arsenal. Not good.
Yeah.
No, you've hit the nail on the head, man. I've said I'll do this quick, but you've said that a million times. Sorry, yeah, tough man. If you need to end up, yeah, we'll go. I was just going to touch it. We can head off.
Yeah. We'll talk. We'll talk more. We'll talk more tomorrow. I will see you guys tomorrow. As they both had to quickly. You want to say a parting message? Your final thought, maybe, or something?
No, see everyone tomorrow.
Peace.
Thanks for coming. See you tomorrow.
Okay.
Thanks, chat.
Yes, big up, chat. Big up to the chat, and thank you for joining us today. We will see you tomorrow, and as always, up the Reds, people. Up the Reds. See you tomorrow, and have a great day. Okay, sorry about that.